episode of Spare Time. I'm Carlos. Today, my special guests are former bartender, radio personality, and current director of operations for Sunrise Enterprises, the beautiful Savannah Savvy Jones.
Well, hello, Carlos. Thank you for having me here today.
And then, as you've gotten used to, my buddy Mike, the Sasquatch Whisperer.
Hello, hello.
What's going on, guys?
Nothing. That was a good name, the Sasquatch Whisperer.
Yeah,
I like that.
I've been called worse.
Yeah. If you're going to whisper to something, you might as well make it that magnificent man.
Definitely.
All right. So, Savannah, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
All right. So, my name is Savannah Jones, and as Carlos said, I come from the super elegant background of bartending and managing a Lager's Tap House, actually, quite a while ago. And then I was Savvy on Saturdays for Best Country 103 for quite some time. And now I'm living the dream at Sunrise. I have a really great career doing some really awesome mission work and 2 beautiful kids, a super hot husband. Life's going well, man. Life's going well.
It's awesome.
Right on. And how's things been going for you, Mike?
Oh, same as always. Just living every day, raising kids, and
you've been in a little war at your house, haven't you?
yeah,
This should be good.
the damn moles. Yes,
You've been waging war with the moles.
Moles.
Yeah, gophers or moles or something. They've been several years in a row. I've been trying everything. This year I got a plan.
He's got his own episode of Caddyshack going on in his house.
Oh my
I have
gosh.
not blown anything up, but yes.
But you're gonna?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
So how you been dealing with them?
This year I'm trying the flare trick, road flares, and a leaf blower. And I'm filling their holes with smoke. I'm smoking them out. I'm sure it looks pretty good to the neighbors seeing some guy standing there with a leaf blower and a flare, but if it works, it works.
Pretty awesome. I've never done anything that cool in my whole life.
It's amazing. Always interesting.
You said the first time you did it, freaking smoke started coming up across the street?
Not the street, but about 70 yards away from where the hole was. Yeah.
And you're still doing it?
Yes, I am.
Brave son of a bitch right there. That's awesome.
I love it.
Yes.
Oh, you gotta have fun with your projects at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I feel like I need to step it up. I don't do anything that exciting.
Oxyacetylene, propane, that'll be next.
I remember when I was a kid, we had some kind of a snake living in our yard, and there were snake holes all over the yard. And my dad and my uncle, who I never understand my uncle because he's from Mexico and I don't speak Spanish.
Wouldn't have guessed.
They had a plan for washing this snake out. And so they stuck a garden hose down there and just started running
Filling
water.
it up,
And
yeah.
I don't know how long they ran it for. All I know is my mom ended up freaking out because the whole backyard looked like a swamp.
Mushy. They filled it up.
I never saw a snake again, so it must have worked, but our yard was not the same ever again.
Well, this might be a stupid question, but don't snakes
I think snakes
swim
like
and,
water,
and
yeah.
breathe underwater and such? Like, I've seen
we're
them in the rivers.
Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
They probably adapt really good.
Hey, I'm not saying it was a good plan.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that's what my dad and my uncle devised.
It worked for
That's
them.
pretty great.
And I didn't remember seeing a snake after that, but I really don't remember seeing a snake to start
Before,
with. I just remember seeing snake
The
holes everywhere.
yeah.
And they might not even have been a snake. It might have been moles too.
Yeah. Whatever it was, they went swimming, huh?
Yeah. I remember our yard was just like a swamp.
A slip and slide?
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh,
It
no.
was bad. So tell me a little bit about what you do at Sunrise.
Yeah, for sure. So Sunrise is a nonprofit that started in 1969. The idea is to provide enriching lives, employment, and community inclusion to individuals with disabilities. We have a day support activity program, we have community employment, and then we have entities within Sunrise where we provide job skills and job training before somebody's ready for the community. So that's the area that I oversee. I oversee commercial landscape, commercial janitorial, our 5 retail stores, and then our retail warehouse. So I just oversee the operations, make sure financially we're doing okay in those areas, that staffing's going well. I mean, I feel like my life is process, right? If there's something broken in the process, you're going to be able to tell in the morale of your staff. You're going to be able to tell in the financials. It's a lot, but it's so much fun. It's really cool.
Right on. And we actually use you guys as your landscaping crew here at the store.
Yeah, I've been for a couple years.
I think they're awesome.
I really love that.
I've told people in the past, the first time that crew came, like I was not expecting that at all. Like the first time they showed up is like an army. Like there was 6 people running around with leaf blowers and
you got her cleaned up.
I mean, because the way your program works, if I'm not mistaken, is you have a trainee and then there's somebody partnered with them. So you end up with twice as many people working.
Yeah, a lot of times even more than twice.
Yeah.
Like that's the really cool thing about it is you have a direct support professional that's helping to provide those job skills to individuals. So you have one DSP generally. And I mean, on our busiest days, I think we have 5 trainees with that individual coming out and busting out landscape. And landscape's one of my favorites because, the guys who do it, they're all like super proud at the end of the day. Like, yeah, I really mowed that lawn. And they're super stoked. They're making their community more beautiful, but they feel like they did like a real doodly job for the day. It's pretty rad.
I think they do a great job.
Excellent.
And they seem like they're having fun doing it. They use the hell out of my bathroom when they come. I think that's great. And
you think that's great? Is that your favorite thing?
I just like that. I like making them feel like they're included, and they do a good job, and I'm happy that they do a good job. And the guy that kind of oversees them all, he's real receptive to any feedback that I have. So any tweaks that I want on the work that's done, they're right on it, and I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, Cedric's great. One of the things I can say about our organization is we have people who are truly passionate about our mission working for us. If you're not, you get weeded out really quickly because we have very high standards for how we treat people. Because it really should feel like a job anywhere in the community where you're kicking ass and taking names, right? You're doing a great job. You're excelling. You're putting tools in your tool bag at all times. So our DSPs are amazing.
It doesn't really seem like a job that... It's not like a typical job where you just go to work and go home. I mean, you're kind of responsible for another person.
And that's what I think is so... Yeah, that's what's so enriching about it is, like, you decide the kind of career that you want to have at Sunrise. If you want to go and check the boxes, you can go and check the boxes and get away with it for as long as you can. But going home every day being like, man, I saw them use new skills. I saw them gain confidence. They were talking to me about their family. Like, somebody to open up to, that's killer for these individuals. It's really cool. I look at them like, my great friends. I can't really call them my friends, right? Because I have a job to do. But at the end of the day, they're the greatest part of my weeks generally, besides my family.
We've been friends for a long time, and I've heard you talk about what you do many, many times, and you were definitely one of the most passionate people about what you do.
Oh, thanks, Carlos.
I think I've watched you cry more times than not when you're speaking. So,
probably.
You get pretty attached to the people that you work with.
I do. They're absolutely amazing. And it's one of those careers where you're working with individuals who half their life they've been told they're not good enough to do something. So to see them like kick ass is it's life changing. It makes me think like, I don't want to get up and go to work today, but the 100 people who are working at Sunrise, they're so stoked to be here. And I have to, alter my attitude to match that. So it's great.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would definitely help with making you feel good about going to work when the people that you're going to work with
need you.
Well, not only need you, but they're super stoked about going to work,
Rain, snow, sun, they're just glad to be there.
Go.
Yeah.
I know you're a huge fan of comedy like myself, and I've sent texts and TikTok videos and stuff back and forth. And I know you're a huge fan of Shane Gillis.
Heck yeah.
And his bit where he's talking about how
Uncle Danny,
they're the happiest people in the world.
100%. They are.
And I think it's true. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, other people, I feel like they don't realize that. They look at it like it's something to be pitied, but I've never seen happier people than these individuals. And yes, sometimes in life, unfortunately, they do get abused because sometimes it's harder for them to articulate what's going on in their lives. The things that are scaring them are not okay. But 9 times out of 10, there's one individual, and I can't say her name, but Every single time I see her, she is so confident, right? Like my whole life, I've been like, what's wrong with me? There's this I don't like, there's that I don't like. She's just stoked to be there, showing up as herself, and she knows that she is the cat's freaking pajamas. And it's the coolest thing. I leave and I'm like, I want to be her one day. That's what I'm aspiring for.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
So you, in your intro, I talk about a little bit of your past or whatever, what you did before. So you kind of went on how you ended up where you're at doesn't make sense with how you started. So tell me a little bit about how your past jobs helped you to get to where you're at now.
Yeah, it's actually super strange. I remember in the interview, I was like, I don't know why I'm here. Like, I don't know why you called me and said I'd be a good fit for this. But I really think what it is I've always tried my best to make every person in the room feel like the most important person in the room. Like, treat everybody like I'm so stoked to be talking to them, because I really am. And everybody brings something different to the table. So I started just creating every job that I was in like a community and wanting that community to be the best place possible, which landed me at the radio station doing Savvy on Saturdays, because I was just really into the community. I just wanted to be a part of it. And then, strangely enough, after I quit Loggers, I got a message from some random dude I'd never met before, and he said, hey, I'm hiring for an executive assistant, and I think that you should come work for me. And I was like, you're real weird. Like, just reaching out to some chick on Facebook.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was strange.
You probably thought it was just some guy trying to get in your pants.
I thought maybe he wanted feet pics or something, and I don't have cute feet, man, so I was gonna let him down anyways. But I didn't respond, and then he's like, this isn't weird. Like, I know I've heard about you from the radio station. Amber said you would be a great fit. Come and interview with us. And I was like, nah, I'm good, but thank you. And then he reached back out like 3 weeks later. I was like, this is getting real freaking weird.
I better check
right?
it out. Huh?
Yeah. He's like, well, I really, we're about to, close for the position. Just really think about it. So I was like, okay, I'll come and interview with you. The interview was like 2.5 hours. Dude wasn't that weird after all. It was our past CEO from the one we have now. He was really cool. And I fell in love with their mission. I fell in love with, the conversations that I was having about what the job would look like. I had never opened an Excel spreadsheet or, budgeted anything. So it was a big change. But the thing I loved about it is I was going everywhere, right? Like I was in every part of the organization, because that community stuff does matter to me. And it helped me really excel in getting to know the people and finding out where the barriers were for our organization and how we could kind of overcome them. So it's been a blast. It's definitely different than slinging drinks and talking shit on the radio, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's freaking awesome. I think it's great. I know being on the radio, because I was on for a little bit with the Q podcast, and you kind of get, get like bite you, and you want to do it. It gives you the bug, and you kind of
sparks
enjoy
your
it.
interest.
Yeah.
It's
And
so
that's kind of
fun.
where this podcast came from, was for me being on the radio. But then when I was thinking that I wanted to have my own podcast, everybody was like, are you going to be on the radio? And I was like, well, I don't think I could censor myself enough. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure anyone that listens to this knows that I can't.
Yeah.
And that hour long that I was on the radio, and I don't think it was actually ever an hour. It was like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It was very hard for me to.
I'd hear some jangling in your cup, and I'd think, that's whiskey.
Well,
But,
Obviously.
that's
Of
given.
course.
Yeah.
yeah, and you
Now
maintained
everybody knows
yourself.
it, so.
You maintained yourself real well.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike? Have you ever done anything with radio or on air?
No.
This is your first time, and you're already a superstar, huh?
Hey,
You're becoming a regular.
that's right.
What'd you have to do for this spot?
We're not going to go into that.
All right. All right. I'll get it out of you by the end of the day.
Yes.
Oh, man. So, I know when we were hanging out before, when you were in Low Tip with me,
Yeah.
you were a struggling workaholic. So how's that going?
Well, it's Friday. It's real early in comparison. What is it, like 1:32?
Yeah,
I have a
we
drink in my
we just
hand.
Got done with lunch.
Yeah, so I'm doing okay today, but generally, yeah, I am a workaholic.
This is work. I
This
didn't
is
ask
work.
you about your job.
This is
that
work.
makes it
That's
work.
right.
You're right. No, I think I'm kind of addicted to the chaos, and it might have been a bartending thing because you were constantly busy, right? Like you might be doing one thing, but you're worried about what's going on at table 37. And if you're over serving the dude at the bar. So I'm constantly, my mind's in 85 different places, and it's hard to tune that out. So we were talking recently about how it would be if I was at a different job, or what if the organization looked different and we had more support. I still feel like I would be working 55 hours a week, like hopefully not creating problems if there weren't any, but like wondering what I was missing.
Yeah, my past job when I worked at Lowe's forever, for a while they got rid of salary. They made everybody go hourly, and you weren't allowed to get overtime. And it went like that for about, I think we did that for about 3 or 4 years, and it drove me crazy. Especially because I was still a manager then, and
you're still doing all the work.
You can't do the job the way you really need to do the job in 40 hours. I mean, you just can't do it.
It's always more.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
And it would drive me nuts. And so I was super happy when they went back to having salary. And
we're at the point now where they're kind of screwing that over for us a little bit too. And it's great for work-life balance, but now they're at the point where I believe January 1 it's going to start, maybe even sooner. If an individual is not being paid $58,000 something a year, they have to be hourly. So all of my people who are salary are going to have to go down to hourly, or else I'm going to have to give them a pretty large increase, because I think that winds up being, like 28 an hour or something.
To do with the state laws
that
are changing?
Yeah. So
we're kind of going through some stuff at my business also.
When they change that stuff, it's crazy.
None of that stuff applies.
Now, when I did my budget, I had to include, like, I multiplied it by 1.25 just because I'm assuming people are going to get overtime, and there's no way I can really combat that because, I mean, when you have a lot of positions, it's hard to keep them all full, and the manager generally, like, we have kick-ass managers. I'm so thankful for them, but they're even going to be like, what do you mean 40 hours a week?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, and you got to do what you got to do to keep them, or you're just going to
for sure
be trying to replace them, and you're going to end up paying that extra money anyway.
Exactly. So we'll figure it out one way or another, but it's crazy that they go back and forth like that on the regulations. Yeah.
You guys are also doing a big fundraising year this year, right?
Yes. So we are doing 5.5 for 55. It is our 55th year as an organization. So we're doing our best to raise $5.5 million. And that's really going to go towards, I think we have 5 pillars for it. And our CEO, Jim, actually, he was behind this campaign. I just really did like some of the media stuff with it. But it's going towards lots of different ways to improve what's going on at Sunrise, including our wood mill, modernize things in there. We're a remanufacture plant, so a lot of our stuff is a little bit older in comparison to what you have at, RFP, where you push a button and it goes through. Yeah. Our guys are burly and kicking ass every day. I mean, they're really having to put the work in. So definitely there's a lot manual. They're having to do a lot of modernization. And then also we want to ramp up our DSA program. We just got 2 new vans through a grant, which is absolutely amazing. They're wheelchair accessible, so that helps us provide a lot better supports in the community.
Well, that's awesome. You guys have any like big fundraising events coming up or anything like that?
So that's kind of on pause for a little bit. Jim is really heading that, but as far as fundraising goes, it's mostly just the campaign right now. And hopefully we'll be able to incorporate some more in-person fundraising type stuff before. But we've talked about it before. That's something Sunrise really needs to do, but we haven't really gotten out and done.
Gotcha. Right on. So I know was it last year that you did Project Leadership?
Yeah, Project Leadership was a blast.
What is that exactly?
So Project Leadership is through the Chamber of Commerce, and it's really nerdy individuals who are very invested in their community, as well as their organizations that want to learn about how the community is really run behind the scenes. So a lot of it had to do with like public works and then government. We also did transportation. We learned a lot about that. We learned about recreation and hospitality in the industry. And I truly feel like that was a very great way of better understanding how interconnected everything is. I sound so boring right now. Like, I've listened to your other podcast, and it was not like this. I'm putting people to sleep. Actually, but
you're learning.
It was really cool. And the people that I got to work with through it were, all people I feel like are really up and coming in the community, want to be a part of making it a better place, talking about housing and transportation and how we can bring more people into the area, which, I mean, to me, that's sexy talk, right? Like, that's what I think is really exciting.
That would be really hard to keep the politics out of that, as far as...
People didn't. Like, once we all walked away,
how could you?
we would have side conversations
Sure.
and stuff, but that's a hard area for me too, is the politics of everything. It's hard for me sometimes not to be like, but what about this?
Right.
Or, you're not thinking about this. So I just try to keep my little mouth shut and keep a smile on and let everybody else do it.
Right.
You have to, I don't know, Mike's a lot like I am. I mean, people pretty much know our political stands on things.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't want to hear it, they just don't ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they know that we're not going to be
I'm not gonna
shy
ask
about
them.
telling what we
Yeah.
think.
So on the podcast that I listened to, the first one that came out, you are an independent. Is that what it was? No, you said somewhere. It started with a T. Did it start with a T?
I don't know.
You said you're not a Republican. You're not a Democrat. You're more of a...
Just basically...
He doesn't even remember.
I forget the term for it, but...
I can't remember, but I looked it up and I was like, oh, that kind of aligns.
I don't know.
And you're pretty Republican.
I'm
Conservative there.
honestly, I don't really believe in
It's classifications.
I don't think it should. I don't think it should even be classified anymore. I think
Yeah. No red party, blue party.
Yeah, I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
What I really think is stupid is like when you vote, you don't even get to vote. Like if you don't like the people in your party, you just don't get a vote because
It's like,
you don't even see the other people in your
the
ballot.
lesser of two evils, It's like,
and which is stupid. But I definitely lean that way more for sure.
Yeah.
But really, I'm, it's whatever.
Yeah. I believe in guns and freedom and saying what the hell you want to and respecting others, right? Like I'm all for let's be kind and inclusive and awesome to one another, but at the same time, don't take anything from me in the meantime, right?
Yeah, and I'm old school, so I believe, getting given a hard time or being a little bit offended here and there is part of freaking life.
It is. It
Toughen
definitely
up
is.
and move on.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. We've being comedy fans, like we know that there was a while where things were kind of censored. Like people would be afraid to say things, and your whole job is to be funny.
Yeah.
Like at work, I definitely keep all of that out of the way. But if I have a conversation with somebody and they're like, I remember one time they were like, "You really believe that? Like I thought you were better than that," and I was. Holy cow, like
serious?
I have never been anything but kind to you and everybody we've ever been around, and you can't believe that I would stoop this low?
Yeah, it's just stupid. And people get so offended by just you having your own opinion about something, and it just doesn't make sense to me at all.
Life's not a kumbaya. Not all the time.
Yeah, well,
it's what
definitely
you make of
not.
Yeah, we can't hold hands and all agree.
Yeah.
Doesn't even sound fun.
So, you got a cute little family.
I do.
You got two. Your freaking son is like a character from hell.
He's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and your husband's hilarious. You guys are huge Duck fans. I know that.
Oh,
Yes, we are. We absolutely love going to the Duck games, sitting around. And now we like motocross. So I've never really been into motocross and supercross. But man, we watch every single Saturday, and it's like a Duck game in our own living room.
Yeah.
It's tremendous.
Nice. What got you into that? Somebody riding motocross or?
No, Zach actually, he used to watch it when he was younger, and he just one day started watching it again, and it wasn't even like the guys are cute and the bikes go vroom. Like, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we started getting competitive about it. Anything I can be competitive with, I'm generally in. Like, I buy in. And there's this app where you pick your riders 1 through 6 to see who's going to do the best. And I've been kicking his ass every single
That's
week, and it
awesome.
keeps me going
So it's
too.
like fantasy motocross.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yes.
It sounds lame, but
I
it's
got my-
so cool. Like, I missed 1 week, so he caught up to me a little bit, and I was so mad. Like the points I missed out on, I was
That's
pissed.
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty great. But yeah, I got a great family. My son, he got bit by a dog yesterday. Right in the face. And it was the dog is 2 and not used to being around people, so I understand that those things happen, but afterwards the owner is somebody close to us, and he's like, Mom, I know she was sad and she was crying because I got hurt. Can I just call her and tell her that it's really okay and I'm not mad at her and I really love her? I'm like, dude, you've met her once, but yeah, you can call her and tell her that. He's just got the sweetest heart.
Yeah, you showed me pictures. They look It's pretty good. He got him pretty good.
Yeah, but he's a tough boy. Like, he cried for a little bit, and then the moment he heard he had no stitches, he's like looking at the super cute nurse. He's like, I'm totally fine. I'm actually doing really good.
Yeah.
I'm good now.
I'm right.
If she would have offered him a sticker, he would have been like, that's kid shit. Like,
Yeah, I don't want no stinking sticker.
Yeah.
Now you just got to get him around dogs again so that he doesn't get to like a fear of them.
we have 2 dogs, and then our good family friends, my daughter's dad, Cody, and his wife Shania, they have 2 big dogs. So I really don't have a fear of him being afraid of dogs. He's not like that. Like, as strange as that sounds, he's really just like, he said at that time, he's like, life is so hard and this is the worst day ever. But by the end of the day, he's like loving on our dogs, and he's like, do you think I should tell the dog that everything's okay? I'm like, the dog doesn't give a crap, but you could. I don't want you to, but if it'll make you feel better in your heart. And Emily, she's doing pigs now for 4-H, so
Nice.
Oh, right on.
every
That'll
night
keep
after
her
work,
busy.
2 hours at the
Busy,
barn.
busy.
It's intense.
Is her pig going to be at the fair?
Yes, yeah, it will. So I'll let you know. And she's got a backup pig. But we're really lucky. Bart, who owns B&D Meats, and his son, and his wife, they have a big barn, and our pigs are there. The Guthries are amazing.
So what you're telling me is I'm not even going to have the opportunity to buy this pig because they're totally going to outbid me.
I'm not saying that's true because I want a bidding war to go here.
There you go.
But no,
I usually, the minute Bart bids on one, I usually just quit.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is.
They're awesome. Like, I know that this community is full of great people, but I've been super happy to see my daughter's connection to this 4-H thing and how much she loves it. They actually got a new business going. Bart's son and a couple other co-owners are in on Bart's Famous Jerky.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's so good. You got to get some, and they're really booming.
Nice.
They're really booming. I've seen a couple TikTok videos on it, like from influencers, and then they're in a couple states at a couple brick and mortars. So it's going really good.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's damn good jerky. I love jerky. Oh, there's nothing like jerky.
So our owner, every Thanksgiving, he gives the employees usually a turkey, and and the last 3 years, I believe it's been a bag of jerky from there.
That's awesome.
You get to choose jerky or pepperoni sticks.
That's a hard choice.
Yeah.
Do you guys like the jerky sticks with the jalapenos in them? The pepperoni sticks?
I love it.
Everything's spicy.
It's got to be spicy.
I don't like peppers. I like the taste, but I don't like the consistency. Freaks me
I
out.
don't like vegetables in general.
Yeah.
I don't like any vegetables. It's a difficult way to live your life as a grown adult.
Definitely a carnivore, huh?
Oh, 100%. 100%. And then you add in the carbs. It's a disaster, but it's tremendous. And I still cook it, right? But I don't eat it, and I plug my nose sometimes, like when I'm cooking asparagus. I'm such a child.
I can't even smell it.
I know, my burgers are plain from McDonald's. I'm a real degenerate.
That is just sad and boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, no good story started with a salad.
Yeah,
No,
that's true.
So you're welcome.
So I was getting a salad the other day.
Yeah, I know. Everybody just stops listening. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So tell me about your life. I'm going to interview. So Carlos,
There you go.
tell me, how are things going at Umpqua Survival? I do. Trust me, I do. I've watched enough of these. So how are things going at Umpqua Survival, Carlos?
Things are going good.
They're going good?
Yeah.
Yeah? And who's been your favorite guest so far?
I don't know. I enjoy talking to everybody.
Yeah.
I enjoyed talking to you. I enjoyed talking to my last episode that I recorded. I had my daughter and a couple of her friends on. That was fun.
Nice.
But yeah, everybody's fun for a different reason. And just having those conversations and listening to what people are passionate about or whatnot, it's just entertaining to me. And it gives me a reason to sit here and drink whiskey and relax.
Because you need one of those reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just fun. And that's the whole reason I did this whole podcast was everybody's like, oh, are you hoping it'll, make you millions of dollars or whatever? And I don't even care about being a podcaster. Yeah. I'm just doing this because I thought it'd be fun.
It's just very interesting.
Yeah, it's just like a hobby for me. So
that's good. That's good.
Yeah. But
You're doing
things
a good
are going
job.
good.
Yeah, you got a nice little setup in here. I know you guys can't see it, but the walls are pink. And he's got some like cloud type stuff up in the top ceiling, and there's a couple.
It's pretty dreamy in here.
Yeah, there's a Gronk poster right here on this left wall. He's shirtless, and it's not bad. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not bad, but it's not what I was expecting when I walked in here. So you'll have to see for yourself.
Gun, so.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, it looks a lot like that.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad I could paint the pictures for your listeners. That's good.
So you're kind of a gun girl, aren't you?
Yeah, when I say I'm a gun girl, I mean I conceal carry. I think it's safe, and I know how to handle it well, so I'm comfortable doing so. And then we have guns in the house, but I'm not the kind of gun girl that's going to be able to tell you a bunch of gun facts. They're super hot, but I'm not that girl. I just like to go and shoot some pew pews every now and then and make things blow up, and that's fun.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you do a little bit of training then, it sounds like?
So Emily's dad, he was in the police academy when we were together. And so when he was going through all of his training, he was like, it's really important for you to know how to handle a weapon and how to do that safely.
That's good.
Yeah. And he was top shot when he was in the academy. If that says anything about what he taught me, I'm decent.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And what do you care if I ask what you carry?
I carry a Ruger. Yeah, I carry a Ruger. And it's purple, but don't, like, everybody listening right now is like, she has a purple Ruger. But it was a gift from my husband, and purple was my favorite color at the time. So I carry it proudly.
At the time?
Until I get a new one. Yeah, it's not really anymore.
That was a hint, Zach. She wants a new gun.
I know. I would love a new gun.
Yeah,
Zach,
always.
listen to that. We're saving for Disneyland, though, so I don't get any new guns for a while. So expensive.
You
why?
can work it in.
I could probably.
Just freaking go to the park and put Disney Channel on.
I think
There you
it's one. So Emily has gone so many times, and Grayson has never gone. So it's like that thing he holds over my head.
Yeah.
You know, I also have an Emily tattoo, and I haven't got one for Grayson yet. And he's like,
You should have
I'm
got
freaking
that
8.
nurse
I
in
don't
on it.
get-
She could have talked him out of ever wanting to go.
Yeah.
that's
She would have
true.
been like, you know what I hate is freaking guys that like Disneyland.
I should have. I wonder if it's too late, because I've paid about $3,000 for the trip so far, but I'm only halfway there, and that's
Oh,
not even
yeah.
spending money.
Exactly.
So I'd pay a nurse to say that, and I'd make her undress a little bit.
Oh man, yeah, we just put a deposit on a cruise to Alaska.
To
My wife and I.
Alaska?
Yeah, we're going on
Gonna do
a
that again?
passage cruise.
Awesome.
Won't that be kind of, cold?
I hope so. I hate the sun.
Really? I think of a cruise like I'm wearing a swimsuit that don't look super good, but I feel great, and I'm eating a lot of
I
food.
don't know if you're aware, not a lot of people want to see me in a swimsuit. So
You're kidding me, Smalls. You're kidding me.
That would be amazing.
no, my idea of the perfect thing is like lots of whiskey, some cigars, some comfortable chairs, maybe a good show or two.
Yeah. It's a little strong.
Did you make it too strong?
I didn't make it. You made it. I don't drink very often. There used to be a saying when I'd go out with my coworkers. I'd say I don't drink much, make it a double. And now if they make it a double, I have 1.5.
Yeah.
And then I'm done. I'm definitely done.
Well, you can add some orange juice to it.
No, it's still tremendous. It reminds me, that this is what
Just the memory.
most people can handle. Yeah. I'm halfway to blacked out and I've had one.
Oh
No,
my
I'm
God.
kidding.
No,
I'm definitely
no.
kidding. It's really good. This whiskey. See? There we go. This vodka's good. What'd you say it was? 503?
Yeah, 503 Distillery.
Shout out to them. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's definitely good.
It's not like a special name. It's just vodka.
It's a pretty
That's okay.
unique name. 503.
That's an
Vodka.
area code, right?
Vodka. Yes.
Yeah. See? I got that.
Yeah, they've been at the Sportsman Show the last couple of years, so
Nice.
I kind of stock up on their stuff while they're in town because I like it.
That's good.
But yeah, so you said you have a CHL. You carry your little Ruger. What is it, like an LC9 or what?
Yeah.
LC9?
Yeah.
Gotcha. My wife used to carry one of those.
Really? What's she carry now?
A Kimber Micro 9.
Okay. Micro 9.
It's like
Sounds
a little,
emasculating.
It's like a little tiny 1911.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
She really
cool.
likes it. I think it's kind of cool, but
Yeah, that's neat. And what do you carry?
I have a Glock 43X.
Nice. What about you, Mike?
I don't carry anything.
Oh yeah, I heard that actually on on the podcast.
I went through once with Carlos, paid the money, went through the whole thing, and then I did it again with my oldest son.
Yeah.
Or my middle son. Not too recently paid it. I just haven't turned the paperwork in.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
How many sons do you have?
4.
4. Nice. That's a lot of sons.
2 daughters. 2 girls, 4 boys.
2 girls, 4 hands full.
Yeah.
The girls are tougher than the boys.
I had 2 litters. So
As they should be.
two early, 2 marriages.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you keep close connected with your ex?
No.
No?
No.
No, that's a horrible idea.
Yeah.
I do that.
No.
We are great friends.
You're like 1 in a million.
We go on
Yeah.
family vacations all together. His wife
that's
is like the
oddity.
cutest thing ever. I know. I get that look a lot.
Yeah.
People are like, what are you
What?
guys really doing? And
Yeah,
it's not like that. Like,
hey.
I just- I feel like if you loved someone and you spent a good portion of your life together and you got close to
doing
their
it right.
family.
That's the way it should be done.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to be able to still have a friendship.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get along with one of my exes.
That's good.
Yeah. We don't hang out, but we
Yeah.
get along.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all right.
It's not like we hang out by ourselves. Like I'm not like, hey, do you want to go to dinner and a movie after?
That would
But
be
we
kinda
definitely,
weird.
yeah, that would be a little strange. But we go on,
No.
we do we're all going to Disneyland together
That's the way
actually.
it should be. It should be all about the kids.
Yeah. And our kids are like little best friends. Their daughter Autumn is
Perfect.
she's my homie. Like I love my kids, right? I love my kids. You know that. But Autumn, she's got a special place in my heart.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Disneyland, so not Disney World, Disneyland, right?
Disneyland. I'm not
You're
I'm
going
not
to
balling.
Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm lightly balling on a budget.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that at all. My youngest daughter, when she graduated high school, they went to
Yeah, they road trip.
they road trip down, her and Sarah and her best friend and her daughter, and they went to Disneyland for a day or two. I don't remember how long, but
I think
Yeah.
didn't they hit
And my
all
daughter told me that
yeah.
that her favorite part of it was Harry Potter Land or whatever.
Oh, I can't wait.
And she said that she pretty much wished that they would have just stayed there all day instead of doing anything else.
Well, I think it's definitely for the kids, right? Like as an adult, you're hot, you wish you were a little drunk, the lines are long, and your kids are just like, holy shit, Pluto's real. Pluto? That's not his name, right?
Sure it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Pluto. Yeah. Pluto
Wow.
and Mickey and Minnie. Yeah. They're just excited about that stuff. So you go, you spend too much money, you regret it afterwards, but your kids had just the best time. From what I've heard, if they don't like it, they better pretend.
That's right.
'Cause-
Damn it, we paid for
Exactly.
this. You're going.
I think I took my kids to what was it? Six Flags.
What'd you think?
It was great.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that was like a million years ago.
Z-
My stepdaughter at the time, she wanted to ride rides, but she was too little to go on big rides.
Oh.
So, and she was too little to go on the little rides by herself.
Yeah.
Had to be-
So she wanted to ride this roller coaster. It looked like a dragon, and it's like a little kid roller coaster.
Yeah.
And so I got on there with her.
are there pictures? of
Okay.
And mind you, I was not as big as I am now, but I was still big.
Okay.
The guy had to he was like jumping in the air to lock us into the freaking seat. And I was so I was scooted as far over so I wasn't squishing her.
Yeah.
And so it made me off center. So every time that roller coaster would go around a corner, it was like whipping my whole body. Like I looked like a rag doll. And
In the meantime, you're smashing her.
and everybody that was in line outside watching us ride was just rolling, laughing, watching me because they're like, "You looked like you were in so much pain on that ride," and I really was. It
Yeah.
sucked so bad,
Yeah.
but
That's all
she
for
had
the-
fun and it was a good time. But yeah, it
That's
was
badass.
yeah, it was a good time. We had a good time there. We went to they have that tunnel where you can see the sharks above you. And
Oh,
stuff,
yeah,
and
that's
that was
rad.
pretty neat. And so yeah, it was a good time, and it was way cheaper than Disneyland.
Yeah.
So,
Zach and I went a couple years ago in, I think, Vallejo, whatever one's near
yeah,
Vallejo.
that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, and we went to see John Mulaney actually in somewhere else. And then we went there after, and we're big kids. Like, we were so excited, but half the rides were closed, and like there was a couple sketchy ones where I'm like, there's going to be a video on YouTube of this later. Yeah, but it really wasn't that bad. Like, there was so much for kids that I know, taking our kids, they would love it. But we're water park people. Like, we want to go and.
Yeah, I think I've seen that you've gone to like Great Wolf Lodge several times.
Yeah, we really like that. It's cool for the kids, and it's inside, and they have these magic quests that as an adult you're like, oh God, we got to pay $40 for the wand, and we got to walk all over this hotel where people have been just walking with their bare, wet feet. But the kids love it. Like, they feel like
kids love
warlocks.
Other people's urine. It's awesome.
I do too, though. Like, not for like the weird reason, but I love a water park. I don't even care. I'll just take a shower after.
There's chlorine, right?
Yeah, right?
I'm a firm believer in embracing kids. I don't know. It's not stupidity. It's their
like free spirit, maybe.
Well, no, it's their.
It's the whole just watching the learning process.
They'll believe whatever you tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would take my kids to freaking Six Flags and tell them we went to Disneyland, and they would
That's
never
awesome.
know the difference.
Until they're adults. Like,
well, commercials ruin it.
35 years old telling stories about when they were at Disneyland, and I'd be like, well, actually,
it wasn't really Disney.
You were at the Douglas County Fair.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that. It doesn't hurt me at all.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll be like, think about how much more stuff you were able to do because I didn't waste all that money.
So true. So true. This will be the one time we go. Like, this is the one. We waited until he was tall enough. We waited until he'd remember it. And we're one and done.
Yeah.
For sure.
I dig that.
Yeah.
It is just so damn expensive that I got family members that go every year.
It's crazy.
How do you afford that?
It's absolutely crazy.
No. Family vacation for me is like, we'll go camping and you guys get to eat nothing but hot dogs.
That's right.
I love that, though. Hot dogs and chili over the fire.
Carlos loves hot dogs, too.
No, hot dogs are not food.
Really?
No.
Oh, I love fried hot dogs.
If a restaurant sells hot dogs, I don't even classify it as a restaurant.
What do you classify it as?
In someplace I'm not going.
Doesn't matter because you ain't there.
Ain't going there.
I love hot dogs.
What am I want to go out to the fucking retirement home? Come on.
Jeez, someday.
Well,
whatever.
This is coming from someone that doesn't eat anything.
Right.
So you're happy with a place that the top two items on the menu are freaking hot dogs and chicken tenders.
As long as there's not vegetables.
You really hit home with that one. You really hit home.
Chicken
and mac and cheese. Oh, if somewhere has good mac and cheese, you can put my face on the menu. I will be there every day. I love mac and cheese.
I like mac and cheese, but
yeah, mac and cheese with bacon. Some places they put lobster in it, and that's too much for me. Like, dumb it back down.
Mac and cheese.
Dumb it back down. Let's do bacon.
I don't know, man. When
if
I was
we're lucky.
growing up, we weren't rich by no means. We weren't poor, but we ate a lot of Kraft macaroni and cheese. And
Same.
I just don't like it anymore.
Really, I do. It's when my kids don't want what's for dinner, I'm like, you have to eat it. And then I'm sitting over there with, hot dogs and mac and cheese. And they're just like, you're the worst, Mom.
You're not eating it.
Do as I say, not as I do.
That's right.
When I was little, we had a real poor food that I still love. So you'd crunch up ramen noodles, right? And you'd warm up a skillet, and you'd put the crunched up ramen noodles in the bottom of the skillet. Yes. And then you'd crack 3 eggs on top.
Yeah.
And you'd put salt, pepper in the packets, and you had like basically Chinese food, and it was tremendous.
Made my own stir
Still
fry.
to this day, my kids love it. Like, it's pretty awesome. They don't eat it very often, but when I really don't want to make a big meal.
I've got a customer that was telling me he basically does that, but he puts like a scoop of peanut butter and chops up some kind of meat, and he said it basically makes he takes canned chicken.
Huh.
And he said he does it all together, and sometimes he'll throw peas or something in there.
Yeah.
And he said it makes pad thai.
That's cool. I'm so picky at Chinese food restaurants and Mexican food too, actually. So I'm always just like, can I have the chicken that I can dip in the pink sauce and white rice? I don't want the one with the peas and the carrots. Give me the white rice.
The chicken nuggets, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
You're in a Chinese restaurant ordering a hamburger.
I want dino.
When I was little, straight up. I'd be like, Mom, why does this hamburger suck? Well, because they don't specialize in that.
It's a school hamburger that they just heat it up on the grill with the
veggie burger
with the Marfar chicken.
I wouldn't be surprised. What's your guys' favorite Chinese food place here?
It was Lee's. That was
Oh, and that's now a different place.
Yeah, they do the sushi and.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think Panda, I guess.
Okay. What about you, Carlos?
Convenient.
I don't know. I still go to Calhoun's and grab food.
I do too, and
I
it's
can't
hit or
remember the
miss.
Last time I went there.
But I really like
Does
Thai
Rumors count?
food now, so I go to 7 Thai all the time.
Thai food's good.
Yeah.
But when I say that, I get one thing, and I make them
Yeah.
take out the carrots and the green peppers, and then it's delightful.
I think it was last Friday. I took Mom out to the Bangkok West over. at
Yeah, that
Harvard.
place is good.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I almost forgot it was there, and
hmm
that was actually pretty darn good.
My cousin Lindsay worked there for a long time, and she used to live with us, and she'd come home with barbecue pork for me every night. It was
Fabulous, yeah.
so good. But you got to have the pink sauce. If you don't have the pink
Yeah.
sauce, it's just a piece of bland pork.
That's right.
This pink sauce is just like a Roseburg thing.
Is it?
Really?
Like, you can't even leave Roseburg and find pink sauce.
I would take pink sauce with me then.
Yeah.
I remember
You go anywhere else and you ask for pink sauce, and they look at you like you're crazy, and then bring you sweet and sour sauce.
Nope.
We were on I guess technically a honeymoon the first time I got married. And
Yeah.
We went down the Washington, Oregon coast, and we stopped at a Dairy Queen, and I cannot remember one of the coastal towns. And my wife at the time asked for goop, and they're like, "What is that?
Oh my goodness.
Fry sauce?" So it was kind of funny.
Yeah. It's weird how certain things are just regional.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Definitely.
Totally. When I lived in Missouri, they thought I was insane because I asked for ranch to dip pizza.
Ranch, yeah.
They
You put
did
ranch
not
on your
understand
pizza?
that at all.
Yeah, coming from the world of loggers, you didn't mess around with ranch. Like, we made that stuff by the bucket full
Yeah.
daily, sometimes
And you
twice a
used
day.
it, huh? Yeah.
Oh, we always used it. And I don't like ranch, and I don't like fry sauce either. I'm real basic if you can't tell. But I could never, I still smell that ranch sometimes. Like, it just pops into my head and I'm like, oh, that's the worst.
My daughter, Mariah, she worked there at Loggers for a little while.
Mhm.
She used to come home so mad. She'd be so mad. She'd be like, I don't know why everybody that comes in here has to order their pizza, and they ask for like 10 fucking ranches.
Every time.
And then they use 2 of them, and I have to throw the rest of them away.
Yeah.
I don't think they realize how much work we put into that.
Nice.
I feel that so hard. I'd go back and help in the kitchen and they'd be like, we're at a ranch. There's no way. I just made 8 buckets and that was 26 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And they don't eat it, and you can't just cap it and put it back.
Yeah.
Like you really want to do, like, if we're being honest.
She told me that she said she really wanted to, like, when people asked for that many, she just wanted to look at them in the eyes and go, really? Do you really need that many?
Or just say, no, you cannot.
She's like, I feel
I'll
like I
decide.
should guilt them out of taking
Yeah.
so many.
I challenge you to eat 3,
Yeah.
and then we'll see what happens.
I will calculate it for you. How many people are eating?
Exactly.
You each get 1.5.
Could be a science. And it should be. Like, they should charge extra if not, because it costs a lot to make that stuff. I understand why places charge for condiments sometimes when you work at a small business and you see people just go through it like it's Kool-Aid.
Well, and people are, 1 wasn't enough last time, so I better get 6 this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm guilty of it. I do the same thing. I go to Romelitos and get my breakfast burrito, and I grab like 4 freaking hot sauce things, and I use like 2.
Is it a packet, though, or do they scoop it in?
No, I have to scoop it in myself.
Oh,
They make it
okay.
every
That's
day.
not that bad, I guess. If you're scooping it yourself.
But still, there's waste on their end because they're making that stuff every day.
So you're saying you don't eat it all?
No.
I'm calling
Saves-
him.
saves
I'm going to
you.
warn him about you. You double
it is
scooper.
what it is, man.
I'm big on Tapatio now. I really
yeah.
love asada tacos, but I can't have a good asada taco if it doesn't have just a shit ton of Tapatio on it. I don't want the salsa. I want the Tapatio.
Well, and you can't even have carne asada tacos because you don't put anything on them except carne asada.
And cheese. Let's not forget the queso.
Gotta have the cheese.
I definitely eat the cheese. And I put the rice and the beans on the taco. So it's good. I love Carlos's in Winston. Have you guys been there?
Oh, yeah.
That place it's awesome. Their margaritas are good.
I used to go there all the time when we lived out that way, but now we live in town, so.
Yeah, it's not too far for us.
I was pretty impressed with the tacos at the Splits.
Oh, yeah. They do Taco Fridays.
Oh my gosh.
On Friday, they have a taco special every week.
That's the way to do it. If everywhere else is doing it on Tuesdays, be the person who says, no, we're going to do this a different day. So we're the only place you can go. What kind of meat do they have?
It's different every week. Sometimes there's pork, sometimes it's chicken.
Pork.
Huh.
I went there one time. They had tri-tip.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, they were awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, they mixed it up.
So what's your guiltiest pleasure when it comes to food? Like the one thing that you're like, oh, this is so bad. I know, right? We did talk about my job. So Carlos and I keep those conversations for the degenerate times over pizza and beer generally. So what is your guilty pleasure food that you're like, oh, this is so bad for me, but I've been thinking about it since Sunday?
I don't know. I have a pretty bad sweet tooth, so.
Yeah.
Cheesecake for me.
Ooh, cheesecake's good.
I could eat the whole damn thing.
Do you like the strawberries or cherries on it?
It doesn't matter.
I like caramel and chocolate on my cheesecake.
I like pie.
Yeah?
Any type of
pie and cookies. I love pie and cookies. My favorite pie is strawberry rhubarb pie is my favorite pie.
Okay.
I love key lime pie. But I also, I guess, probably my absolute favorite dessert, though, is strawberry shortcake.
Is that like the round
with the
little sponge and you put...
It can be that, or it can be just an angel food cake with
okay.
strawberries and whipped cream, and I'll usually put a little bit of vanilla ice cream on there or something.
I love sour candy. Yeah. Sour candy is like my thing. If I'm gonna really want something, it's sour candy. And I also, ever since I was little, I don't know what it is, but I can't just have the popcorn. I need that Fritos spicy jalapeno cheese. And I dip my popcorn in the cheese. And there's nothing like it.
I don't think I've ever tried that.
Oh my God, you have to, and you have to report back. I will send you a can of cheese.
Didn't we have a Grossberg where Ross is now? That was at one time a mini mall. Yeah. And they had a popcorn store. And
oh, wow.
They had just about every topping you could think of.
I do remember that, but I don't think I ever got it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'll go to the movie theaters and I'll be like, can we have a large popcorn and a side of cheese?
I remember
that was a mall, not a mini mall. It was an actual mall.
It was Roseburg, man. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, when I was in high school, we had the ball in the mall. We had a freaking school dance at that mall.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They had Jesse
Penney's was in there.
Yeah, they had an Orange Julius.
That was at the other mall.
The other mall.
Oh, I think
we were big.
I hate to say this. I think I'm too young to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you are.
Back in the day, we were living it up. We had 2 malls.
Oh, wow. That's pretty legit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, it wasn't.
No.
But yeah, and we had I think it was a Volkswagen Bug that the
mug bug.
Yeah, that they crammed as many kids in as possible to raise money, and then
there's all kinds of neat community stuff.
Probably some weird stuff going on in that van.
That was a bug.
A car. A 2-door.
Like a bug.
How many kids you could fit in it? Like what kind of kids? Like a teenager?
Yeah, it was a high school thing to raise money for the high school.
Yeah, there was some weird stuff going on in that bug. Some weird stuff, I bet.
There's gotta be that one guy that didn't shower that day.
There's gotta, yeah. Yeah. You just hope you weren't that guy, right?
Speaking of that, back in the day, Carlos he worked at the damn arcade.
Yeah.
He got to see all the kids.
Really?
The original Electric Palace arcade, not the one that was there when you were
the OG? Okay.
Yeah. Pool tables and...
Yeah, I remember going to the mall that I'm aware of. When on the weekends when my dad would actually pick me up, he'd always take me there and go check out women and do that Dad of the Year thing. But I got pretty good at pool. Like, I'm still not bad at it because I remember he'd go in there and hit on babes while I'd play air hockey and pool with some probably 40-year-old guy at 15 years old.
Wait a minute here.
What do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what was funny was back then it was so different because like all the kids in town would just get dropped off at the mall.
Yeah, that's what.
On the weekend, they wouldn't have any money.
Just to walk around.
You just sit there.
That was the social.
There was nothing. They just drop them off.
It's in the middle of
the town. And either
they'd
get picked up or they
should be safe. There's no
what?
sketchy people kidnapping kids.
We used to do that at Lava Lanes, what used to be 10 down a long time ago. We would just get dropped off, and our parents, if they knew what we were doing at Lava Lanes, like there were no lights around that building.
Oh, no.
It was just dirty.
What?
I actually remember those days. There'd be freaking kids all lined up on the side, sitting on
Yeah.
the curb, just making out.
Yeah. In Lindyland, there was a place in Lindyland on Old 99, and I
yeah.
remember like 14-year-olds would just go there dressed like 26-year-olds, and just it was bad times. I wasn't one of them, of course. I was handing out pamphlets for the church.
Yeah.
But I do remember it happening.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was tons of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And nobody, I mean, it wasn't, there's no way people would trust their kids nowadays.
Oh, you
to
couldn't?
even
God,
drop them
no.
off like that.
Hell
No. I don't let my
way.
kids walk to the store, and it's down the road.
No.
Yeah.
It's a different world. Or maybe it wasn't a different world. They just didn't care as much. Or it wasn't as known because there wasn't as much media, I feel like.
Yeah. Even going to the, the city or county parks and stuff, like river parks.
Sketchy now.
Yeah. I
Well,
definitely.
yeah, there's freaking homeless people everywhere.
Yeah.
You go to the Gaddis Park and there's needles on the freaking sidewalk.
It's real sad.
It's unfortunate. It's terrible. What do you do?
Well, there's probably a lot we
I have
could
some
do,
ideas,
but
yeah.
I just don't take my kids there.
They're just not
Yeah.
Well, I guess now it would
politically
be
accepted.
my grandkids. I wouldn't take them there. How about that?
we take our kids to the local schools. So we
Yeah.
live in the Green District. So we'll either go to Green or Sunny
They're-
Slope, and they have a fence.
They just put a fence up to
Yeah.
keep people out of there. It's
They're
like,
supposed
are
to
you
keep it open
serious?
in like the summers and stuff, but that's how
Holy
bad it's
cow.
getting, is that you got to
Yeah.
put fences up around schools because you don't know who's going to be sleeping on the slide.
So I'll age myself right now. I was first grade when that school opened.
Really?
The
Green
new-
Elementary?
No, Sunny
Sunny
Slope.
Slope?
The new Sunny Slope. campus
Okay.
over there. Mrs. Colton was my first grade teacher.
Oh, I was a Sunny Slope son. I remember that. And a Green Dragon.
Yeah.
I did both.
But
I
yeah,
know my
that's-
junior high girlfriend and me used to sneak out and go over there and freaking make out.
Nice.
that was you. Oh.
That's exciting. You were the creep over there.
Well, it wasn't during school.
Yeah, whatever.
That was the other thing. We'd leave in the morning as young teenagers, maybe even before that, and we'd go and hang out at the schools with other kids. We would leave our houses in the morning, and we wouldn't get home until it was dark. And nobody was like, "Where were you?" They were just like, "Oh, you live here?"
The street lights are on. You better be home. Type of.
I don't even think I had
scenario.
that.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my parents weren't even home.
Yeah.
What did you say? It was
They
like
worked, yeah.
it's daylight. Get your ass outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to be in the house. I mean, if in fact we didn't have any inclination to be in the house, because if my dad saw us just hanging out, he would
Put you to
find
work?
something for us to do.
Yeah.
Idle hands. Get your ass to work.
Yeah, so we would disappear, and but during school, like during the summertime during the week, my parents both worked, so they'd leave for work at 8:00 in the morning, and we'd have the house to ourselves until 5:30 at night. And so we'd get on our bikes and ride all over town or whatever. We'd do whatever we wanted to do.
My mama, she played music in a band when I was little, so she would leave and go to like Callahan's Cove and the Moose and the Elks Lodge, and they were never home in the evenings either. I remember staying home alone at like probably 9 or 10, and my sister was supposed to be there, but she'd sneak out and run across the highway
Definitely.
to her boyfriend's house as soon as they'd leave, and it wasn't even a scary thing.
Don't get me in trouble.
Exactly.
I'm leaving.
Don't tell me, I'll kick your ass, or don't tell on me. I remember, yeah, that was scary. Big sisters, they were rough.
Yeah, I didn't have any of those. Yeah, in fact, I think my folks knew they didn't want us to be alone for too long, because pretty much every summer when we lived up in Portland when I was little, they would send us down here, and we would spend like about 3 weeks or a month with my aunt and uncle and my grandma and my grandparents, with my grandparents. And those were some of the best memories of my life, though, because I mean, we would go camping every weekend, and we had befriended the other kids in the little neighborhood.
Oh, that's nice.
And we'd run around and play guns and whatever, and
Kid
everything
stuff.
was a gun. And we turned
Didn't matter.
every tree branch turned into a gun. And we'd
Sticks.
run
Yeah.
around and
Hammers.
shoot each other with imaginary guns and argue about who was dead and who wasn't
No, I
dead.
shot you first. I shot you first.
That's fun. My kids do that too. But I'm so strange about like the kids in the neighborhood, because we live on a nice cul-de-sac, but I'm always like, their parents like, and
Right.
what does the inside of their house look like. So I'm cool if you want to like be friends over the fence and you guys can play in the front yard, but I don't want you to go inside. And that's how you know
Not
life
until
has
I need 'em.
changed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We
Exactly.
We lived in Green for a while years back, and it was funny because we had this old man that was a neighbor when we first moved there. He was a nice guy, but he was an old guy, and he had this huge house, and he was all by himself. So
It just
you
sounds
gotta be
creepy.
leery, right?
Yeah, it just sounds
So-
creepy.
But somehow or another, my son started like befriending him,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Oh, he's so cool. He's got a Corvette. He's got this, and he's got like he had all these toys from when he was a younger guy. Like he had a Corvette, and he had 4-wheelers. And
Is he
all
in
this
therapy
stuff.
now? Your brother?
No, this is my son.
Oh, is your
Yeah.
son in therapy now?
So anyway, no. So he became friends with him. Well, then he started like helping him do like, he's like, I'm going to go over and help him, clean up his backyard. I'm going to help him do this or
That's
whatever. Because
good.
he was paying him to do little projects. And I'm such an awesome parent. We would just be like, okay, don't get molested.
Cross your fingers and
Yeah.
hope for the best, bro.
And that was it. But I ended up befriending that neighbor too.
Yeah.
And we actually ended up because after we started talking, I told him, if you ever decide to move, let me know, because I would totally rent your house.
Mm-hmm.
And he eventually did, and then we rented that house.
That's cool.
And
That was an awesome move.
yeah, that was the worst move. If you ever move next door to
Just
where
next
you live,
door.
No.
it's the worst thing ever.
Because you're carrying it all?
Yeah, because you're like, oh, I
Pretty
don't need
much.
to pack that. Oh, I don't need to pack that.
Mm.
And so you end up taking a million trips.
A week just
Yeah,
to
it
move
took so long.
That'd be
house
rough.
to house.
I took
It was
a
awesome.
flat cart from Lowe's, like one of the big flat carts like you use when you're shopping there.
Yeah.
I took one of those home, and I do that. We ran that thing back and forth from the next door so many times that the wheels stopped working. Like they needed to be greased up because they wouldn't roll.
And did you help with this? You sound like you have personal
Uh,
experience.
Oh, not so much. Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah, it was
watching
miserable.
the chaos and like, well,
Yeah.
I'm out of here. See you later.
Thanks for the pizza and beer.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never know who your neighbors are, so you got to be leery.
Yeah.
But yeah, he ended up being a good guy. He actually passed away, but he was a super nice guy.
I'm sure most of them are, right? Like most of the people that were like, they seem a little creepy.
Everybody started out being the nice guy.
Yeah, that's like TV now. Everything is a murder mystery, and it just makes you feel like you're in the store and you're like, oh shit, the guy on aisle 9. He looked at
Yep.
me weird. Paranoid.
I like the idea. I kind of like thinking that everybody is
always on the
up
edge.
to something
huh?
no good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plays out a cool narrative in your head, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, like You. Did you guys watch that show on Netflix? You would have never
I don't
thought
think
the
I
guy
watched
was a
that one.
creep, and he was just the worst. There was something hot about him because he was so mischievous and like he'd become obsessed with you and kill the people in your life. But I'm like,
Sure.
oh, he killed for her. Like it was weird.
What a
It did
nice
something
guy.
weird in my head.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I pretty much assume everybody's got some secrets.
Well,
Yeah.
That's
Well, we do.
pretty general right there.
But it wasn't like that when we were kids. I mean, well, it probably was,
You
but
just never thought about it.
Yeah.
nobody cared.
And I'll throw this out there. There was definitely penalties for people that got caught doing that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now there isn't so much.
Not really. No.
Yeah. I remember when towards the end of the time that we lived up in that Portland area, there was this park, and I don't remember what it was called. There was a big park, though, that was on our way when we would go to school every day and stuff.
Hmm.
And a little girl got abducted out of there. And after that happened, then things kind of started changing. Like a lot of parents
Everybody was
were
on edge. Yeah.
stop. Like I remember a lot of parents were like, "Oh, well, you can only go in groups now or whatever,"
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. But I don't know. I was always in a group because I had a little brother, so I mean, there
Sure.
was at least 2 of us, so it was always
Very rarely you were by yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was safe enough for us, I guess.
I wasn't afraid of anything. Like I would lie to my parents about where I was going or sneak out the window and go walk across town in the middle of the night. And I didn't have that fear sensor that my kids definitely have. if I tell my daughter, like, we're out the door in 3 and she's not out there and I pretend to pull my car out of the driveway, she's bawling in the doorway.
Yes.
Like,
I don't know what to
yeah,
do.
it's totally different. And I mean, I've created that, but I'm kind of glad because if not, I'm worried that's my kid in the park, you know? So
I grew up kind of Looking Glass area.
Oh, okay.
Total rural.
Yeah.
And I do remember one time, probably junior high-ish, I tried sneaking out the window.
Yeah.
So I'm doing my ninja moves, and I get all the way, and here's my dad standing there smoking a cigar out in the total pitch dark. He goes, "Hey, we got a goddamn door for a reason."
Oh, so he wouldn't even have cared?
No,
He just said, "Go out the door."
It was so funny.
That's
all
pretty rad.
he said. We got a goddamn door for a reason.
Oh my
That
gosh.
sounds like your dad.
I mean, it's like we would go, I don't know, play flashlight tag was really big.
Yeah.
You know, out. That's what you did out in the fields, or run around varmint hunting or something. Never further on into the junior high school eras, and sneaking out with beer and stuff like that.
Yep.
Before it was, let's see if we can get away with this.
Well, it's kind of fun, right? To be like, are we going to get caught?
Yeah.
What's going to happen? Who's going to catch us? Like,
Yeah.
there's something fun about that sneaky stuff.
Yeah.
That's
When I got to like high school age, I didn't have any of that. I did whatever I wanted.
right.
My parents got divorced, and that meant
Oh yeah.
that it was
Yeah.
free for all for me.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
So, like my girlfriend and stuff, total opposite. And it was the worst. Like she had to, I would sneak to her house in the middle of the night just to have a conversation with her through her window.
That's hot.
And I would just stand outside her window for hours talking to her in the middle of the night. It was stupid.
The old Romeo
But yeah,
and
and
Juliet
then-
thing.
About and I actually stole this trick from her parents.
Oh, okay.
About every couple months, they would like be waiting for her when she got home from school and make her sit down and be like, "So, is there something you want to tell us?"
I know this one.
And she would spill her guts on every single
No.
thing.
And those parents didn't know shit.
And I'm sure they didn't know anything.
No.
They were like,
Did it work for
The
you?
next thing I know, I wouldn't be able to see my girlfriend for a month because she'd be grounded.
Yeah.
Did it work for you with your kids? Would they spill it?
Oh yeah, most of the time.
Yeah.
Some of
We
them.
also had our kids convinced that we had cameras in our house.
everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
And
So-
we're
so
still
we're
using it to this
watching
day
this-
because our grandkids think we have cameras in our
They're
house.
watching the cameras, and they're like, "Oh yes, I did that."
I'd trick them though. I'd like throw up double middle fingers and be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, did you see what I did?" And see if they'd know.
Yeah, kids aren't that smart.
No.
No, definitely not. I moved out when I was really, really young and got emancipated, so I really didn't have I snuck out at like 12, but once I was 15 and 16, like I had my own small apartment, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
I could just kind of do what I wanted, and I was so lame with it. Like I never had ragers in my studio apartment or anything. I just went to school, went to work, and was depressed.
All of that stuff it's what you dream about doing.
Oh, yeah.
It's not as fun when you
Until
can.
have your own place, and then you're like,
Yeah.
fuck that. I don't want to clean up after
Yeah, I
that
was
shit.
gonna say,
No,
it usually
definitely
took
not.
One time, and then you're like, "That ain't happening."
Yeah.
Mariah, my
I'll go to
youngest
someone
daughter,
else's house.
she's living on her own now, with her boyfriend and his cousin. And anyways, her and I talk, and she's like, it's so lame that like the coolest thing, the thing I look forward to the most is going grocery shopping.
It's true. Life changes fast.
And she's like, and all I want is for people to clean up after themselves. She's like, I don't care about anything else.
Very interesting how life changes, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's all fun and games until you're the one paying for all of it.
That's right.
Yep.
That's an instant eye opener right
Yeah.
there.
Well,
Very true.
I'm gonna pause this for 1 second.
Sure.
All right. Sorry about that little pause.
You're good.
It's becoming a regular thing on the episode.
Well, it's gotta. I mean, how long do you like your episodes to be?
I'm trying to not make them more than just a little bit over 2 hours. So
Over 2 hours. Yeah.
which works out good because everybody kind of seems to start losing steam a little bit about then.
Yeah, for sure.
So it works out good.
Good.
Plus, I've learned from experience that if I drink more than that, I pretty much have to edit the rest of the episode out anyway.
So you wasted the time anyhow. Yeah, makes sense.
Always learning.
Yeah, it is. It's like the whole process. Every episode, I try and get a little better at my editing and my questions and all of it, and it's a fun experience.
And are you going to have a monthly?
No, I'm doing it every week.
Every single week?
Yeah.
So have you had more than the one drop?
Oh, no, I've only dropped the one so far. By the time this drops, it'll probably be half a dozen will be out. But
wow, okay.
Yeah, so that's one weird thing about recording podcasts in advance.
Yeah.
Is you're having a conversation, but you have to also remember that what you're talking about
isn't going to be relevant.
Might not be totally relevant.
Yeah.
By the time. So.
Well, that Ridiculousness show on MTV, the only thing that ever is on MTV, they do 25 in a day.
That's crazy.
Isn't that, they just change their clothes, bring on a new guest, and then he only works
Rob
for
Dietrich, his shirt and his hat. And
he only works for 3 months out of the year.
Still going?
100%. It's the only thing you can watch on MTV pretty much.
Really still going.
Yeah.
I thought they were just making movies now.
That and Bar Rescue. It's the only thing that's on at night, and I freaking love both of them.
Dude, I love Bar Rescue.
Bar Rescue is the greatest. My husband and I, every time we go to eat, my husband will look at something and be like, John Taffer would be so pissed right now.
I'll tell you what, though. I was watching Bar Rescue the other day, and he had Phil Simms do his job.
Yeah?
Yeah, fuck Phil Simms.
Yeah, you want John Tafford.
No, Phil Simms is a bartender that's been like backup. He's been one of the bartender side.
I wouldn't watch it.
Bar Rescue. So John Taffer he's the one that runs the show.
But he brings in experts.
He always brings an expert bartender and an expert cook.
He reminds me of someone right out of the
is
mafia.
One of the expert bartenders that's been on he's a black guy, dresses super nice. He's been on a million of those episodes. Well, the other day I was watching the show, and
maybe he was on
Taffer
vacation.
had him do the job, and I was like,
"It's not the same."
I was like, "No, fuck this guy. What is this?"
No, one of the things I'll notice though is when it first started, like you wonder how the cameras get in there and how they don't know, but it started to get so scripted after a while, where you know that there's absolutely no way people would act like that.
Yeah, it's like how did they?
Yeah, it's still entertaining, and I still watched it.
The sketchy shit.
Exactly.
But if they put those cameras in far enough in advance, said, okay, you are going to be on the show. We're going to come put the cameras in. We're going to install bartender and all that shit.
Yeah.
If they did it, I bet it wouldn't take probably no more than like a week.
Yeah, and then they'd get so used to it.
They get back into their old ways.
Oh, okay, I'm going to be on my best behavior.
Nobody said anything yet.
So 1 week later, they're freaking back to doing their regular same old shit.
Doing coke in the bathroom and not cleaning the grill.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can see it.
It doesn't take long for people to
human nature
get complacent.
Yeah.
See what I can get away with.
Very true. Yeah.
Especially in that situation where you already know they're coming to help you. So you're like, well, fuck it. I can fuck up all I want because I'll just fix it when they come.
And it has to look bad, right? Like it has to be worth it. So you might even punch it up a little bit. Like I've seen ones where bartenders were fighting each other across the bar and drinking. And isn't that legal in some states?
That you're drinking
I think it is legal in some
I've seen I know a couple bars here.
I do too.
That they drink all day. And that's where my husband will look at me and be like, John Taffer, he'd be pissed right now.
Yeah, there's a couple of
but
ones.
what states is it that you can drink while working?
I don't know.
I think you can in Oregon.
Really? I worked in the worst bars then because we always snuck it.
If you're the owner.
Oh, I mean like the employees, like the bartenders behind the bar. I think in like Florida.
Yeah, I thought that was a normal thing. Growing up here in Douglas County, watching.
I never did
work at the bar.
But I know like all my favorite dive bars because I don't like the fancy places, right? Like I'm not at the Parrot House. I'm at the Kodiak, and it's normal for you to have a drink with Calder. Like that's one of the things that makes it kind of cool.
Growing up, the Rumors era, watching people.
It's the first bar I ever snuck into. I was 17. It was Halloween.
That's crazy.
I wasn't dressed as anything special, just a whore.
I think mine,
that was my favorite Halloween costume.
You know what?
I don't know why.
If I could fit into it, it still probably would be mine.
That was the costume we were all looking for every year.
I think I snuck into the Lariat once
The Lariat.
when I was probably before I could drive.
Where was the Lariat?
Where that strip club was.
Yogi's?
Yeah.
That's the second place I snuck into.
Yogi's used to be the Lariat a
Yeah.
million years ago.
Yeah, I was not impressed. My husband has a story where his best friends used to live right across from Yogi's, and they would go outside and throw eggs at the strippers when they would go out on their smoke breaks.
Or the pregnant ladies smoke.
Yeah, I love it.
What is wrong with? Why would you throw eggs at strippers?
I'm not sure. He was young, but it's one of the reasons I love him, right?
Just the randoms.
Yeah, exactly.
That was not a great strip club, that's
No.
for sure.
There
It was classy, Carlos. What are you talking
I
about?
do miss having a strip club in town. And not for pervy reasons.
Whatever.
It was just a nice place to go relax
Have lunch,
and,
right?
and enjoy it.
I used to go to the bikini coffee shop
Yeah.
that used to be over by the co-op.
Yeah.
That didn't
Yeah.
last very long.
I didn't care about the coffee. I was just like, oh, you guys are so rad. I was in high school and had like my little Daewoo Lanos and would just drive through and just give me whatever tastes good.
Yeah. No, we used to go on lunch and just get a sandwich. And
Remember,
freaking
what was it called right over here? The original strip club.
Cowgirls.
Cowgirls, yeah.
Yeah.
When,
yeah, that's where we used to go have lunch.
Corey's dad and them, the city workers, they all would go take their lunch, and they got in trouble because they had their city employees shirts on.
Oh, no. So is that, were there strippers during the day?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 11
wow.
o'clock. Bar.
Wow. Okay.
But in defense of people going there for lunch, they had really good
Awesome
sandwiches. They had
food for
good
some
food.
reason.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and they had video poker.
But nobody ever got it to go, I'm sure. Not a damn
why would-
person.
Oh, no. That wasn't even an option.
Yeah. I don't doubt it.
We went there years ago. My little brother's buddy, his brother was getting married.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was in charge of doing a bachelor party for his brother who was getting married. And so we said, well, you guys can do it at our place, at my little brother's place. And so we had this bachelor party at our place, and I was living there at the time. And he hired 2 strippers from Medford. Gorgeous girls. I mean, they were awesome.
Yeah.
They came with this big, huge biker guy who was like their
Security,
protector or
yeah.
whatever. They were awesome. They did an awesome job, did a great show. They made a crap ton of money. We all tipped them good. I think there was about 12 of us at that bachelor party.
Yeah.
And it went great. But they were done at like 11 o'clock at night.
It was after.
And his brother, who was also from Medford, which go figure, we had the bachelor party here.
Sure.
But anyways, he drove his RV up here so
Yeah.
that he didn't have to drink and drive or worry
That's
about
nice.
anything like that. So
Smart.
he drove his RV. Well, it was good intentions.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I get it.
Started out good.
I totally get it
So
now.
the strippers left at 11, and we're like, you know what would make this night even better? And we're like, more strippers. So we proceeded to try and get, and I don't know if they've fixed this issue since, but we were trying to fit this keg inside the RV, and it would not go through the door
Yes.
because the door is like a 25-inch door, and the keg is bigger.
30 inches.
And we're like, this is dumb. So we did what you normally would do. We all
Break
grabbed
the window.
2 or 3 cups apiece, filled them up, and then a couple pitchers from the house.
Oh my
And we just had
gosh.
them stacked everywhere in this RV, right? And then all of us loaded in the RV, and we drove the RV in here to Cowgirls. And mind you, a lot of beer was spilled in that RV.
Oh, I'm sure.
A little bit, yeah.
It was not
You
good.
might have hit a curb or two.
I definitely thought you were going to say that you guys like left the door open and just held onto it and drove with it because that would be epic to see.
A ratchet
if we
strap.
That would
Hold
be
it.
so cool.
Honestly, if we hadn't drank so much, we probably could have figured out a way to strap it to the back. tire or
100%
something
up
like
to the
that.
top. Like
For
you
the
could have.
spare, yeah.
Let's just
You could
take
really
the
figure
window
that
off.
out.
So we ended up parking it at Cowgirls, and we all
Mhm.
went into Cowgirls, and we closed down Cowgirls. We slept in the RV in the parking lot.
Oh my gosh.
And, but yeah, it was a crazy night. It was trying to car surf with beers in
Whose
your
idea
hands.
was it?
I couldn't tell you. I think that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I might have had something to do with it, but I don't
Mastermind
remember.
I feel like you had to have had
Yes.
something to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I know my buddy's brother got a pretty good private dance for his birthday, though. So. I'm sure he was 100% faithful, but I hope he enjoyed his dance.
Made it worth it.
So, yeah. But those girls that came up from Medford, they were beautiful, and they really did do a good job.
I feel like Eugene and Portland are probably great. The first legal strip club I ever went to was the Silver Dollar in Coos Bay.
Sure.
Is that what that one is?
I've only been to the Gentleman's Club in Coos Bay.
I did not go to that. I'm not a gentleman. Can females go into a gentleman's club?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
They want the dollars.
Because gentlemen just want females to be there, so they don't care.
Well, one of the things that I realized in this strip club is we went with a group of people, and strippers give all of the attention to women.
Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All of the attention to women,
that's
to the
right.
point where the bouncer was telling the stripper not to touch us. Like, it was the exact opposite of what it should have been, and it was awesome. But they didn't look like what strippers on TV look like.
No.
It was Coos Bay.
That's an unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
It was so disappointing.
They're expecting you to be drunk when you go there.
I think I was too sober is what the problem was.
That was the prerequisite. How many shots have you taken before you enter?
Yeah, it was a little rough. I want to go in Vegas. For my 30th birthday, I went up with Zach and my family. So Emily's dad and his wife and their whole family. And the one thing I wanted to do was go to just like a really nice strip club. And my daughter's stepmom but my daughter's stepmom got tanked on the night we were supposed to go. So we decided not to go. But next time I go, my husband and I and friends are going to go to a strip club and see what it's really supposed to be like.
I know Zach had like total anxiety about the fact
oh my
that
God.
he was going.
He does not want to go with me at all. And he's never been to a strip club. So he's like, I told him, I was like, if you don't want to go with me for the first time, go with your brothers. He's like, I don't think it really matters who I go with. I know I should be watching her, but I'm going to be watching you to see you watching me. And I know you say that like you're cool with it, but are you going to be cool with it in a week?
Yeah. He's
So
like, this is a setup.
he totally feels like it's a setup. And I'm like, no, this is awesome. Like, just enjoy yourself. This is cool.
Yeah, I would love to go to one in Vegas, but I've heard they're super expensive.
Reno.
Yeah.
So
What's the bar you sent me to?
probably the biggest.
I don't remember.
It was on Fremont Street. And it's like...
Oh, Hogs and Heifers.
Hogs and Heifers was the coolest.
I love that place.
It was the best. The bartenders were so
It's
rad.
It's like Ghetto Coyote Ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so. That was the best time I had in Vegas was going there.
Those bartenders are so fun.
They were. They definitely were. We were up on the bar, and it didn't matter if you knew how to dance or what it was. There was women like in their 90s, I'm sure, up there, and it was just the coolest experience.
Well, and they're
tourists.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, if you tip, they're all about you, and they don't give a shit about nobody else.
That's awesome.
It's true customer service there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
As a bartender, that's how it works everywhere, Carlos.
Yeah, well, not always. I mean, some bartenders they'll keep trying to get everyone else in on it. But those in Vegas at the Hogs and Heifers, man, I mean, you tip.
You definitely know what they're doing.
They could give two shits if the other people need a refill.
Yeah.
So
have you been on TikTok and seen that there's these, I don't know what bar it is and I don't know where it is, but these chicks, they stand up on the bar and there's a guy or a girl sitting in the seat in front of them. And they pour a shot in their mouth and then slap the ever-living shit out of them.
I did see that.
I've seen those. Yeah.
It's insane.
There's a name for it.
I'm not interested in that.
I'm not either.
I don't like violence.
Nope.
Well, I don't want to go to a bar and have you slap the crap out of me in front of a bunch of people.
And I'm not interested in going to that restaurant.
They better be
where they put a bag on your face and then fucking talk shit to you.
Dick's Last Resort. That's one of my favorite places to go. I'm so nice to people all day long that I think it's so cool. I remember.
I would honestly end up just going off on them.
Oh, it's so fun. The first hat I got from there, and this is vulgar, but it said something like, bitch is a bowling ball. There's always at least 2 fingers in her or something. And I was walking around Vegas with it at like 19 years old and thought it was the coolest thing in the world. But oh my gosh, looking back now, I'm like, holy cow, I can't believe I walked around Vegas with that on my head.
There's pictures of me wearing this somewhere.
Exactly. Somewhere. I also went to a Sugar Ray concert when I was there. That was pretty cool.
God.
At Mandalay Bay. Favorite concert I've ever not remembered.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to remember stuff that happens in Vegas. It's not what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's what happens in Vegas. Nobody remembers.
I thought it was what happens in Vegas stays on Facebook.
Yeah.
And that was before camera phones were like the biggest thing. We took pictures, but not of everything.
Sure.
We didn't vlog our meals.
I've got the only pictures I took in Vegas were like of my buddies smoking cigars that don't smoke cigars.
Yeah.
And other than that, there's like nothing. Like it's like I never was even there. So
That's what it should be like.
and I've been there lots of times. Other than that, it's just pictures of guns.
Of the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite place to stay when you go to Vegas?
I always stay at the Embassy Suites.
The Embassy Suites.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Mike?
Never been to Vegas.
You've never been to Vegas? We got to take Mike to Vegas.
I've drove through, but I've never stayed there.
Ah,
Reno, that's about the biggest.
yeah. I've never been to Reno. But I really liked... So the Venetian was great because it's the Venetian. But other than that, I got a suite for my 30th birthday at Planet Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
It was huge. Like, we walked in and it looked like it could have fit 40 people in there. And we have, we're not very cool. So we didn't like invite people to come back and party with us. There was a swing in the
And
living
that's not
room.
even there
Like,
anymore.
it was so rad. It's
Well,
not?
It's there, but it's a Virgin. I think it's Virgin now is what it's called.
Maybe that's not where I was and I'm kind of drunk. But we were somewhere that, yeah.
Or no, maybe Planet Hollywood is there. I don't know.
I think Planet Hollywood is.
One of them closed
turned into
down.
the Virgin.
Yeah.
I watched Machine Gun Kelly there. That's a nice place, the Virgin.
I don't know. The first time I went, I stayed at Circus, which is disgusting.
I won't stay
Ghetto
there.
as hell.
Yeah.
But the first couple times I was there in Vegas, casinos are horrible.
Yeah.
They're horrible. You have to walk 1,000,000 miles to get anything.
Miserable.
Everything's more expensive as far as food and if you want something to your room or any of that stuff, it's all more expensive. You see all the old days where you used to get free drinks and all this stuff.
Yeah, that don't happen no more.
There's not fucking $5.
Even if you're gambling?
No.
No.
Well, yeah, if you're gambling, you can get a couple drinks, but
They didn't give me free drinks.
yeah, but like those,
That's what I remember.
the like $5 steak and lobster dinners and that kind of stuff. There's none of that. That's
It's like $40 for the breakfast buffet.
Yeah, it costs. You go to McDonald's in
insane.
Vegas and it's like $35 for breakfast.
Yeah.
Like it is here now.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Close.
So one of my buddies who's been going to the SHOT Show for years, he said that they always stay at Embassy Suites. And I said, well, why? He goes, well, number one, it's close to the strip, but it's not a casino and you're not on the strip. He goes, they've got a bar they've got a lounge in the hotel, and it's during happy hour, which is like from 5 to 9.
Yeah.
You get free drinks if you're a guest.
Oh, that's tremendous.
Wow.
They have a full breakfast with a chef that makes custom omelets. That's part of staying there.
It's like complimentary?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And so I was like, okay, so I'll try it. So I stayed there, and dude, I've not gone. I've only stayed there ever since.
I
because
really
it's
want to try the Trump Hotel.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one place that I really want to try. And I see the pictures every time, and they have like a bathtub next to the window, and it looks very lavish.
Didn't you and Sarah get to go through that? Or
We stayed at
Verm-
Trump Plaza in
Plaza.
DC.
DC?
How was it?
Yes.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
The nicest hotel I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
And when we got off the airplane, there was a guy with my name holding with a thing.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
And picked us up in a freaking like a brand new Escalade
Yeah.
and took us to the hotel. I didn't find out till afterwards.
So
when
did
they
it
billed
say
me that I got-
Ortegon or did it say Carlos?
It said Ortegon.
Carlos.
And I didn't find out until after the trip when I got billed.
Yeah.
I got billed $120 pickup and delivery back to the hotel
Ooh.
for that. And I was like, whoa.
But you got your name on a little piece of paper.
It was cool.
Yeah.
But, that place was awesome.
Yeah, I would love to go there. I definitely gauge it on if I get a robe. Like if I get a plush robe that somebody's already worn and is disgusting to sleep in or to hang out in, I'm stoked. Like that's the nicest place in the world for me.
Yeah,
I require.
Super plush robes, slippers, everything.
Yeah, I don't know if we had slippers at the Venetian, but the Venetian and Mandalay Bay are the greatest places. Mandalay Bay is awesome, but it's too far from everything. I want to stay downtown. I've never stayed downtown, and that's where I really enjoy. I don't care about the fire shows and the water shows and the flowers at the Bellagio. I don't care about any of that. I just want to people watch and drink.
There's a lot of that. For
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, I went to Vegas 3 years in a row before I finally even gambled.
I like to gamble.
I never even gambled. I always go there for work. So, I was focused on work. I never.
Yeah. 3 out of the 5 times I've been there, it's been for work when we had that Umpqua liquidation store. But I like to gamble. Vegas is not the place for me.
And it took me a couple years to figure out that the biggest part of the trip of that show is the networking aspect of it.
Oh, for sure.
And it took me a little bit to figure out how that works, like how to get invited to the parties. I always thought they were just party, like after parties are after parties. They're just parties. It's just where people are going and drinking and fucking around. But no, once I figured out that that's where all the actual stuff happens, then it was a whole different story, and then I was focusing on getting invitations to this stuff and whatnot. And I made a lot of real good connections, and I've probably accomplished way more at those things than I have at the actual show.
That's so nice. Any networking thing I go to now, like any conference, we do the Organ Resource Association, which is a big disability advocacy organization. And I've realized, like, if you go to bed after the last class, you're missing out on so much networking. And I love it. I love to network. That's why I loved LaTip. That's why I loved the Chamber and Rotary and all of that. Like it's super fun to make those connections, but you've got to make connections all over the US. So what kind of connections have you kept that are like not local here?
Oh, tons.
That help you professionally?
Tons. In fact, so I'm planning on doing like a little limited launch, t-shirt sticker thing.
Cool.
And, I'm going to try and do that every few months, where I only print like 100 t-shirts or whatever.
Yeah.
And when they're gone, they're gone. You're never going to see that logo again.
Mm-hmm.
And my first design, everybody local that I went to, like all of my normal people, they all loved it. And all of them said that they would not be able to print it for me because they were afraid of trademark infringement and blah, blah, blah. And, we don't want to get sued or whatnot. So one of my buddies that I met through my networking at the shows in Vegas, he owns a company called Patch Ops, where they make morale patches and t-shirts and that kind of stuff. But like his big thing is if somebody says something on the internet that goes freaking viral,
it's immediately on a t-shirt.
He's got a t-shirt and a patch for it
immediately
8 hours later.
That's the way to do it.
On their website, and it's freaking nuts. And he doesn't give a shit. He's got like attorneys ready to go.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. And like he had this whole series of, the cartoon show Bluey for kids.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So he made a whole series of patches for Bluey.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were on his website for sale for months. And then all of a sudden, he got somebody sent him a notice. Well, no, he didn't even, before he even got the cease and desist notice, somebody sent him a link where people were talking shit about his company in Australia, where Bluey is from.
No.
About how this freaking American character is freaking stealing their freaking cartoon and making it violent and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And, so he pulled his stuff off the website before he actually got a cease and desist.
Yeah.
But it was just funny because he just didn't care. But he's got, all these different characters and stuff that are, they're trademarked, and he's still got characters for him. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So anyways, I sent him the stuff that I had come up with. And I was like, hey, is there any chance that you might be willing to do this for me? You think your guys could clean it up and then do the printing for it? And he's like, absolutely, no problem at all.
Good.
Show me the money. Let's do it.
So yeah, but that's just one. I've met several people. There's a rifle company called LWRC.
Mm-hmm.
I had at one point I don't know, half a dozen customers that were waiting for firearms from them to be available. And I was just on a waiting list and nothing was happening. Well, I was at a marketing and leadership conference in, I think I was in Texas, and I'm ended up meeting the director of marketing for LWRC.
Wow.
While I was there. And we were having drinks and smoking a cigar, and I was telling him, we love your stuff. I've actually been waiting for a couple of stuff to be available for several months now.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What? Are you
tell me what
me?"
it is?
He's like, you tell me what it is, and he goes,
awesome.
actually, here, and he just like got my business card, and he's like, when we get back, if you haven't heard from me or one of my guys within a week, you call me and I'll make sure you get taken care of.
Nice.
And I swear to God, I got back 3 days later. One of their people got a hold of me, and within a week after that, I had all the guns that I needed.
That's amazing.
So I mean, it's it really does. It's really who you know with a lot of stuff. I mean,
yeah, I've realized that too. I locked myself out of my house yesterday, and my husband's house keys were in his truck, but obviously his truck keys were in the house. So I called Roseburg Towing, and I was like, can you please come and help me out? We're locked out of the house. My son just got bit by a dog. We just got back from the hospital.
Jeez.
And they hadn't been there in a while because there was a big wreck on I-5. Somebody was driving the wrong way on the freeway. So I called back, and I didn't even realize it was Clint, right? And I was like, it's been about an hour, and I don't want to call anywhere else because my friend Clint owns this place, and I really just want to support his business, but can you give me an
he's
ETA?
like, you're talking to me.
Yeah, and he's like, this is Clint. It's going to be free. Sorry that it's been a while. And it was just like, the things that Latip or, whatever networking things I've done have helped with.
Sure.
Of course, I was like, no, I'm going to pay you. I want to support your business. He wouldn't let me. But it's so wonderful what it does. If you take the time to get to know people and you support their business,
Right.
it comes back tenfold.
All the
Absolutely,
doors it opens for you.
And it has with you. I mean, I don't know if your listeners know, but you guys highlight a nonprofit and you do a raffle for them. A raffle, and then proceeds after that go to the organization, and you've done that for Sunrise multiple times.
Yeah,
that's been absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, well, it's one of the reasons why I wanted to have my own business was so that I could help out the community.
Yeah.
It's I'm not part of the business or anything, just watching, some that it's pretty inspiring, phenomenal to see the success. I'm amazed. I love it.
Well, now you get this cush freaking
Hey, I get
side
to
gig.
come in here on Fridays. And
Nice.
a little bit.
You get free beer and conversations.
Yeah.
Anytime I need any other day of the week, I have a doctor's appointment. I'm going to see Carlo.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. This is your doctor's
Don't
appointment.
tell on yourself, man.
Oh, that's all right.
This would be therapy for a lot of people.
It
I
is.
know it's just sitting in front of a microphone and talking, but really we're just shooting the shit like we did at lunch, right?
Definitely,
Yeah.
It's the same
definitely.
thing, and it's good. It's
Well, and I
nice.
think that's why I was telling you at lunch that I don't do the headphones, and I don't have, I don't get it all enclosed in where it's all soundproofed, and I want it to feel like you're just hanging out with some friends BSing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think that's the best. You get the best stuff out of that.
I feel like you do too. Then you wind up talking about a bowling ball and
Right.
a hat on your head, and you're
Right,
sitting there
right,
thinking,
right.
my kids could hear this one day.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll be older.
A lot older, I hope.
I was actually thinking about that the other day. I was watching TV. At my house, I get home, we eat dinner, and then basically everybody goes to bed except for me, and I sit there by myself for a couple hours and wind down before I go to bed.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that not only is this podcast fun for me or whatever, it's something for me to do, and I get to talk to cool people and have some interesting conversations. But, you know, someday I'm not going to be here, and my kids can go back and hear my voice anytime they want. You know?
That's really neat.
I think it'd be kind of interesting.
That's really
and
cool.
they might be like, God, my dad was a freaking idiot. But whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it'll be fun. I mean, anytime that you were on like your whole radio show.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how easy it is to listen to an old radio show, but.
Well, I noticed yesterday when we were.
I'm sure it's all archived. So.
Yeah. When we were locked out of the house, I heard a commercial that I was that I did 3 years ago when I was working for them for like a pet place. And my son was like,
Hey,
Mom, is that you? And I was like, no. And my dad was like, yes, huh? That's her. She used to be on the radio. I can show you. And like was super telling him because he was too little then.
That's awesome.
But I had a little country twang, and sometimes it's kind of hard to, you know. I did savvy on Saturdays. Like it was a little bit different than this, and it's weird even now having the microphone in me. Like it's hard to not say y'all a lot and stuff because that was kind of the persona.
So I was trying to look up some old stuff. You know, I always try and do a little bit of research for the show. And I typed in, I had it wrong. I was typing in Savvy on Sunday.
Oh, yep, you're wrong.
And there's some stuff that's not appropriate that pulls up.
Oh, I'm sure.
But also there's just like, apparently there's some podcast where some girl does a bunch of makeup and she goes by Savvy.
Oh, really?
And so she just does like makeup videos. And, like I could not find anything. I was like, son of a bitch, I can't figure it out. So I had to go off of what I already know. And
yeah. Well, you know a lot about me.
Well, we've been friends for a while. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. If all you do is social media for freaking researching people, especially, you know, I'm not saying that we're not a big city or nothing because we're not, but
because we're not.
So I mean, all these big podcasters and stuff on the internet, they can do research and they're looking up celebrities that have, you know, pages and pages and pages of information.
Yeah,
about
for
them.
sure.
And some of it's not true and some of it is true or whatnot. All I get when I Google people is Roseburg mugshots,
their police report,
for sure,
report, and you know, maybe a couple little things about them, and maybe once or twice they were in the news review or something.
Nice.
And then I can look at their Facebook, which I know I'm old. I'm an old guy, so I'm a Facebook guy, but a lot of the younger people are not Facebook people.
It's so strange to me.
Yeah, and so I don't get a lot of information. And then I'll try and dive in with like people I know that know that person to try and get a little bit of information.
You're straight up investigating.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be prepared.
Stop your status.
That's good. That's good.
It's funny because, you know, you think you just type someone's name in and you get all the facts, but
it's just scary.
Unless they're some kind of a celebrity, you don't get really much of anything.
I'm so thankful that's not how it is. There's some times in my life that like I would hate to be on the internet. I think it would be absolutely horrible in that sense to be a celebrity, have all your worst, most embarrassing or like demeaning moments just online for somebody to Google. Like the Ben Affleck meme of him standing outside smoking a cigarette. I use that
so many times.
I use that all the time, and I just think, what if that was me, right? Like if it was a picture of me just sitting there totally diminished, pissed off at J-Lo, like
Your
it would be
last
horrible.
name was Baldwin or something.
Straight
There's
up,
so many pictures of me just looking wrecked.
Yes.
So
tagged pictures never look like profile pictures.
I got a few.
I know. I know. I was at lunch the other day, and the guys pulled up a picture of me just passed out in a lawn chair in my driveway because I couldn't make it in the house.
Nice.
I think I remember this story. You were at Splits, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, no.
I didn't want any of that tequila to go to waste.
I don't blame you, but come on, man. I have a couple trips like that too, where they took pictures and I'm like, we were there.
I did that?
When did that happen?
What?
Yeah. Well, I recorded a podcast episode not very long ago, and I'm pretty sure it's never going to air.
Those are going to be the best ones.
Yeah. Well, I told my wife, and my wife's the reason that I know it's probably not ever going to air, because I kind of listen to them again to do a little editing. But
Yeah.
if I get started and everything's going smooth and there's not a lot of editing needed, and there's no reason for me to listen to the whole conversation again. I had the conversation.
But did you?
Yes.
But this one episode, I don't even remember half the stuff I said in that.
Yeah.
And my wife listened to the whole episode, and she's like, I don't know if you want to listen, if you really want that episode going out. And she goes, you said some pretty bad stuff. And I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. And then she told me a few of the things I said. I said,
maybe I should
re-listen to that.
Hold that one back for a bit.
But I did tell her on the Buzzspot or Buzzsprout, where my website is, they're the host for my website.
Yeah.
For my podcast. They have a monetary thing where you can make it so that people can pay to be a member.
Oh, okay.
And then they can get exclusive content and that kind of stuff. Sort of like Patreon or something.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe one of these days I'll actually activate that.
Add
Yeah.
it to there.
And then all this
there you go.
really bad stuff that I said will be available.
Somebody can pay for me to embarrass myself.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we'll see. For now, everything's free.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody wants to listen to me, I'm just honored that people want to listen to me.
Well, I was excited. I couldn't figure out how first because I didn't have Spotify. But I got the Spotify and I listened to it, and you guys were really entertaining. Like it was. I couldn't tell there were technical difficulties, and I know it's because it was before that show. You guys were struggling with stuff, but it was pretty good. Like you got a booklet of questions there. I probably haven't even let you get to all of them. I'm a talker.
They're honestly just kind of points. And, you know, I also do, like, in case I run out of stuff on the page about you, I have a page of random
just generic
rabbit holes and conspiracy theories.
Give us one. Let's hear it.
All right. What are your thoughts on this whole Puff Daddy thing?
Oh my goodness. I pretty much think anybody richer than me is probably a pedophile. So
that's
now,
the way it works.
Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it. Is there's no stone that's going to be unturned in Hollywood. That I mean,
I know at lunch you were talking about
no secrets there.
the roast of
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
That's so good.
And I made the joke that I can't wait for the Puff Daddy roast from live from prison.
Yeah,
So,
you're not gonna hear much but thuds, I'm sure.
I think it'd be freaking hilarious.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I just knew him as the peaches and cream guy. Like, I didn't know that there was anything perverse going on. But I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Like, I'm definitely not surprised. That I know, like, when Justin Bieber was coming up, I wasn't a Justin Bieber fan, but I thought it was very strange.
It all makes sense
his relationship with P. Diddy.
Totally makes sense.
Oh, 100%. And now I'm looking at, like, everybody like that. Like,
He freaking seriously, he still looks like he walks around holding somebody's pocket. So,
yeah, I mean, I guess I never noticed. Like, I'm worried they're gonna tell me about Justin Timberlake, like something about Justin Timberlake, and it's gonna ruin my childhood.
No.
It's just gonna ruin me.
Hilarious.
He seems so like
Dick in a box.
innocent. Oh, he's wonderful. Him and Jimmy Fallon together, they are hilarious.
What was his name in that movie where he was the hockey player? Lecoq.
Hockey player. Oh yes. Was that a Adam? That was
That was the best.
God. What movie was that? Was that The Love Guru?
I think it was.
Yeah, that was a good movie. He's hilarious. He really is. His
He's
Saturday
awesome
Night
on
Live
Saturday
stuff.
Night Live when he's on Saturday Night Live.
I've been digging into the old Saturday Night Live stuff because I love Saturday Night Live, but it's not
It's pretty lame lately.
super great anymore.
They just did the Ryan Gosling was back on there and they redid the
Alien.
impression
Every time they do
That's
the Alien
best.
one, I lose my shit. He is
Let me
so
tell
funny. Yeah. She's like, that's not what it was like for me at all.
Oh, that
Right.
chick is so hilarious.
She is. She's one of my favorites.
Oh, so
When I say women aren't funny, not on Saturday Night Live. Women on Saturday Night Live are funny as
those
hell.
women are hilarious.
They have no filter.
I love it. Saturday Night Live. I know it's not as good as it used to be, but
I still watch every week.
they still get close to
Yeah.
not caring and freaking just being funny.
You know, the interesting thing we were talking about Shane Gillis is he was offered a spot on that show. And then they dug into his past. The first night he was supposed to be on there, he actually got fired
Yeah, I
because
remember.
he had made a joke about an Asian or something like that. And then, so when he came back to host, I was so hoping that last minute he'd be like, you know what? Can't show up. Like,
No, he went on and immediately said, well, I didn't get fired.
Exactly. He was so funny on that. His stuff about his
Have you
Uncle
watched
Danny
his new show yet?
and his new show.
Tires on Netflix?
No.
Oh, it just launched like a day or two ago.
Is it a stand-up show or a skit show?
No, it's like a sitcom.
No way.
I think there's 2 episodes available right now.
Okay, I will go home and immediately watch it because I
haven't
love
watched
him.
them yet. I'm going to watch them this weekend.
Have you been watching the John Mulaney Everybody's in LA? I haven't watched that one.
I haven't watched that.
But I love John
I
Mulaney.
did just watch Dr. Phil, though, because you were telling me I should check it out.
I knew you would love him. He is, I mean, Adam Ray is absolutely hilarious. My husband and I, every time we walk out of a room, we'll be right back. Like, it's just... And Dr. Phil's into it. Like, Dr. Phil is planning on having him come on to the show.
Anyway,
oh my God. It's just something I never knew I needed in my life, but YouTube presented me with and was like,
yeah,
you're welcome.
I don't remember what the episode was I just watched.
The one with Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino is absolutely hilarious.
I watched one that was,
That's his newest one. That was with Tony Hinchcliffe. I think.
No, I just watched the one that Jelly rolls on.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Pete Holmes.
Pete Holmes is good.
And it was awesome because it was, he was, they kept doing imitations of people.
Yes.
And I was freaking rolling. Yeah.
So one of the things with comedy, what do you think of Matt Rife? Are you big in?
Him.
You love Matt Rife?
I love him. And I love his crowd interaction the best.
So he does great crowd work.
Crowd, yeah.
But I don't know if I love anything but the crowd work. And I think I hate that everybody is obsessed with him.
Well, keeps getting like canceled over and over again.
That's so stupid, though.
That makes it even more interesting.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but I think it's hilarious. But I love pretty much everybody.
Yeah, there's some people that are
Bill Burr because he just fucking goes.
Oh, he's
he
wonderful.
Gets unhinged and,
yeah. He was on Dr. Phil twice, and his were hilarious, especially the first one. The second one wasn't as good.
That was the next one I was going to watch.
Yeah, but Andrew Santino, I love Andrew Santino. His podcast, Whiskey Ginger, is one of my absolute favorites. And when he's on there, it's just, he's awesome. And there's something about a redhead for me with a crooked smile. Like, I don't even know if it's the redhead, but I like a crooked smile. I just think it's so cute. My husband gets so irritated.
Is he the Whiskey Ginger?
He is the Whiskey Ginger.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yes, Andrew Santino. He's a big, tall, redheaded drink of water. And he is not like what people would call handsome, but he is my like celebrity crush. And I think it's because he's funny and he's witty and he's kind of dark and he has this crooked little smile that I just think is adorable. Sorry, Zach. But I do. I think it's so cute.
There's Jamie Liskow. He's got a lot of older material.
Yeah.
He went through last week. I think it was in Portland.
Oh, really?
So he's got some new material out. And
I love it.
just the way you can relate to him because he's more. I don't know. He just everyday life. Just makes you laugh about it. And he just went through a divorce and everything.
That's got to be good.
Yes, it's. I don't know.
Have you guys heard of Anthony Jeselnik?
I do believe so.
You got to look him up. He's a very dry comedian. He talks about dead babies and beating up women and like in these ways that you're like, oh my God, you cannot joke about that, but it's hilarious. Orphans and house fires. Like,
made you laugh.
He is absolutely just the funniest. And his timing, I think that's what it is with me with comedy, is the timing of it. To say one thing and then immediately like know when to follow it up with the punchline. I just think they're the smartest people in the world.
And then the follow back with it, like later
they come back, the callback. Heck yeah.
That's half the stuff. Half the time, me and Mike just sit around watching stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Zach and I. We have a podcast we watch every Monday. We watch Kill Tony every time it comes out. We watch the Adam Ray.
Kill Tony is either awesome or really painful.
It's just hard to watch sometimes. Like to sit and be like, oh, how would it feel to be in that person's shoes? They thought they killed it. Yeah. And you're just making fun of them.
And Tony is...
I don't think I've actually watched his show, but I've watched him on other people's shows.
Oh, it's hilarious. But it's hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah, and he has no hold barred. I mean,
no.
He's damn good in
he's brutal.
Tom Brady thing.
In the roast, yeah, he was good. He was one of the best. Him and Nikki Glazer. I mean, they killed it.
I'm gonna watch that this week.
Everybody booed Kim Kardashian.
That was just odd, just awkward. And It's like, wow.
Yeah, definitely.
Why would you boo her? She's so fucking hot.
She
Oh,
ruined
man.
American Horror Story for me, and that's a problem.
Was she an American Horror Story?
She was. She was
She is
the
American
lead.
Horror Story.
She was the lead in the new American Horror
Oh,
Story
I
with
haven't
Emma Roberts, and I hate Emma Roberts, so that probably didn't help it. But
I don't know.
she's not an actress.
No.
I'm a weirdo because I think she's hideous, dude. I find nothing about her attractive at all.
That's good though,
Absolutely
because the
nothing.
beauty standards have changed so much, and I'm not
Yeah,
that
but
person.
You're attracted to midgets.
Well, there's that.
I found
Hold
him,
on.
I found him one.
Wait a minute.
I found him one that works
Oh
with
my
7 feathers.
goodness.
So
I was
you
gonna hook him up. but-
really?
So I got this really, really good friend, that coworker. We went into when Floyd still owned it, Fast Stop. He stopped because he knew this about me. Is this weird, I guess, fetish?
Yeah,
whatever.
fetish is the word, my friend.
He stopped. He shut the door and said, "We're not going in there because there's a midget in there." And
Was she cute?
I don't even remember. I gotta help him. I'm an ass.
No, I love it. That's awesome. That's
But
awesome.
yeah, he refused to go in the store because he knew I would be a jackass. And,
Oh, that's amazing.
So-
You got anything you want
all
to
the
admit
little
about
people
yourself?
out there, I got Mike on here for you.
you got a place in my heart.
Oh gosh. So one of the cool things I didn't even realize when I started this podcast was it tracks all the stats. Like it tracks how many times it's downloaded.
Yeah, how many midgets are watching?
Well, I don't know that it can tell that, but if it
Again
could,
now.
it probably would.
Yeah.
But it tells like even once it tells how many times it's downloaded, where it was downloaded.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know how it does that because it's all cell phones. So
Mhm.
obviously it must be based off of pings or where the cell phones
Sure.
are registered at or
Yeah.
what. But my first episode, in the first 3 days that I dropped it,
Yeah.
was downloaded over 60 times, which is not a lot of numbers.
But
But
still,
for me, I was pretty impressed.
I
with it.
bet.
But one of those was downloaded from Paris, France. So I must have
Amazing.
a customer or
Amazing.
something maybe that lives over there that follows the website. and
That's
where they download
awesome.
it. So I thought that was pretty neat.
That is
So-
really cool.
It's only been a week, right?
Well,
has it been 2
As of
weeks?
right now, yeah. As of right now, it's only been a week.
So did it show you actual views too? Because I didn't download it, but I watched the whole thing on.
Well, I think every time you watch it, it counts.
They
As,
consider it a
if you
download.
listen to it, it counts as a download.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really neat.
I'm pretty sure.
the way Spotify.
Well, so and
But,
that's
yeah,
just
it-
on
right.
Buzzsprout.
So,
So the other is like Spotify and Audible and all
Audible,
those will
yeah.
have their own stuff too. And I
Sure.
haven't got into that to track stuff, but I think it's being mini is as it progresses. By the time anybody listens to this episode, there's going to be, like I said, probably half a dozen or so episodes. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how it grows and see if people like it. And I'm hoping people like it. If not, whatever. I'm probably still going to keep doing it.
I like it.
Well, it's not for them, right? Like that's one of the
For
cool
you.
things is this is for you. And like
Yeah.
you said, your kids are going to get to listen to this one day.
Yeah.
And my kids aren't going to be allowed to listen to this. But it's
You have not said anything that you would not want your
the
kids
ball
to know.
thing was pretty like I was just
No,
thinking
they're
Emily
gonna-
being like bowling ball.
Well, they're going to learn.
Oh my
that.
god.
They're,
Like putting it
they're going to
together.
figure that out.
I gave my
They're not
oldest
allowed
daughter,
to figure that
They
out.
will.
I gave
Kids
my
are
oldest
amazing.
daughter the advice of blowjobs only.
Carlos.
That's parenting.
Yeah.
That's
I was trying to tell her, I was trying to make sure that she did not
Get knocked
just
up.
instantly find a freaking boyfriend and fall in love
for
and
sure.
get out of the Navy.
Yeah.
She didn't listen to my advice at all, and that's exactly what she did.
Yeah, but
So-
it's introducing, the whole comic, relief,
Yeah.
make them laugh about real life situations, and
Yeah. And I'm very real with my kids
it
too.
might
Like
be a harsh topic
you
or
need to
whatever,
quit being
but
so real. It's costing you too much money.
it was funny.
yeah, clearly.
It's perfectly good to lie to your kids.
I know.
It's good
I
for 'em.
should. I don't know.
No matter what, take it from me. I've had a few kids. They're gonna find out.
Why'd you
Yeah.
put it at your arm? You didn't shoot them up.
Because they're all on my arm.
For the listeners, what's on his arm is no,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
But yeah, they're whether you want them to or not, they are going to find out.
Yeah, we're figuring that out already.
Mike was in a coma in the hospital.
Yeah.
During COVID.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to lose my buddy.
That's rough.
He's got, what's your tattoo say on your stomach?
Something about horses.
No, it does not.
Trust no whore.
It says, trust no whores.
Oh my goodness.
In Old English on his stomach.
I was a very angry person
And
on one of my divorces.
His daughter came rushing into the room when he was in a coma. We thought it was because she was worried about him. No. It was because she's heard about this tattoo.
Whatever.
And she
was
wanted
a
to
little
see
kid and
it.
She wants to see it. So she made the nurses pull up his freaking gown so that she could see his tattoo.
Oh my gosh.
That's
That was
kinda-
your most vulnerable moment and you don't even remember
the way
it.
it worked, yeah.
That's funny.
Freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any tattoos that I regret.
No,
I don't
no,
regret
thank
it.
you for coming on your rear end. or
No,
anything
I
like
don't. I have Zach's name on my butt
that?
with a heart around it.
So
But
nothing you regret yet.
nothing I
No.
I figured I could, I had the heart red and the words black so I could just fill in the
Yeah,
heart
cover
with
up,
black if I
cover
ever
up.
had to. But I feel at this point very confident after 10 years
It's
that it's
way,
stayed on my ass forever.
You passed the 7-year magic mark.
Yep. Well, barely, but we did. We did. Carlos was my therapist for a while.
No,
I love Zach. I think he's hilarious.
Zach is great. He's real quiet until you get to know him, and then still kind of quiet. But
I bet he would talk a ton on here.
Mhm.
probably once he got comfortable with it. The thing with him is that I
But
respect
he doesn't
so much.
drink, so how would I get him talking?
He does. Once a year on his birthday, he shows his ass, and then he
Once
puts
a
it away
year?
for a year.
Once
No,
a
he's starting to
year?
drink now. He's starting to drink a
I
bit.
did convince him to have a cider on his birthday one year.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember that. No, we were at the
Oh no, it wasn't his birthday.
we were at a Latip
It
thing,
was a
right?
thing, yeah.
Yeah. No, he what I respect so much about him is I talk about everything that I know shit about, right? I know nothing about it. But him, when he talks, it's funny and it's witty, or he means it and it has depth behind it.
Sure.
And it's commendable to me, because for me, I just open my mouth and
Insert foot.
random shit comes out,
Yeah,
right?
Yep. I
Um
think I have that.
Yeah.
I'm the
disorder
same
also.
way.
it's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's an interesting one.
I think people love to hear what kind of random shit's going to come out of my mouth.
Yes.
Yeah. You're welcome, world. All three of us do
There
it.
we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
never
think
know.
it's great. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess we've talked for long enough.
Okay.
We've done pretty good. We're over 2 hours.
All right.
It doesn't feel like it. It feels like we just
No.
started talking.
No, you're right.
There's
Okay,
no
well, I have one
schedule.
question before we go.
Yeah.
All right. So, fuck, marry, kill. Okay. You played this game before?
No.
You've never played this game?
No.
All right. So, Sasquatch,
Yes.
we're going
Now
Kim K,
You got my interest.
Kim Kardashian,
Yeah.
and Gronkowski. Those are 3 we've talked about today.
Yeah.
So, you got to fuck one, you got to marry one, you got to kill
What?
one. What are you doing?
Why is Gronkowski in there at all?
Because he's up on your wall. I can't get him off my mind. Yes,
Yeah,
stop
yeah,
lying to
he is
people.
now.
I have a feeling that
He is
you have
now.
a thing for Gronkowski.
I don't. I actually don't know much about him besides that he's an idiot.
You know
and
what I'm doing?
What?
I'm getting a Gronk poster.
I
I'm
am
putting it on
too.
the
We're
fucking
doing
wall.
it. We're doing it. You're getting a Gronk poster. Okay, so fuck, marry, kill, Kim Kardashian, Sasquatch, and Gronkowski.
That's tough, dude. I don't know.
This is gonna say a lot about you to a lot of people.
Well,
To 60
You go
people.
first.
Me? No, I asked the question. That's not how this
No,
works.
that's how it
Okay.
goes.
That's not how this works.
So-
All right, Mike goes first
all
then.
right, I'm fucking Sasquatch because no one will believe it.
Yes. Okay. All right.
And then I guess I'll kill Gronkowski because
Okay.
I don't like him on the wall.
Okay.
And I'll suck it up and marry, I guess, the one that I can't stand to look
Yeah,
at.
you're marrying Kim? Okay.
There we go.
Carlos?
Oh man. Well, I think Gronkowski's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So I'd probably marry him
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
he's on your wall.
because we could hang out for a while.
Yeah.
I guess I would fuck Kim Kardashian because nobody would believe it.
And you're
happened.
killing Sasquatch?
I would kill Sasquatch anyways.
You've never seen.
Yeah, no, I would get him stuffed, and I would be a rich motherfucker.
Ain't happening.
All right, that's our time.
No, it's your turn.
No, that's our time. When you
No,
ask the question, you don't have to answer it.
You gotta answer.
Okay, well, I think I would have to sleep with Kim because that's the only thing that wouldn't make me feel like I was really cheating, right?
Why?
That's a one way to look at it.
Because there's no penetration?
Yeah. Let me have this,
Jesus.
okay?
She's got tongues and fingers.
So I'd sleep with Kim. I would kill Gronk just because he looks like a dumb big idiot. And I'd marry Sasquatch. And I'm really not sure why, guys.
Because no one would believe
Yeah,
it.
I would still be able to have my husband because he's never around.
That's right.
Right? He's such an absent husband.
Oh,
Piece of shit. I'm talking about Sasquatch, not Zach.
Yeah, he's the lost and found champion.
So I think that's it. But thank you for entertaining me with that. That's one of my favorite games.
That's badass.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to
Now
get with
we're gonna
people.
have to
with
do
better
that.
people, though.
We're gonna have to.
Well,
do
those are
this
who we've talked about.
every time.
I can't really go with local people, right?
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be
Yeah,
good.
that probably wouldn't be
No,
good.
definitely
I'd be
not.
editing the whole end of this episode. out.
Yeah, you would. You sure would. You still can if you want to. But
No, you're leaving it, and we are getting a fucking Gronk poster
Yes,
on your
we are,
wall.
And
for
also, I
sure.
can't believe you tried to end the show before I did.
because I didn't
It's
want
not
to.
your show.
I didn't want to answer. I just wanted to hear your answer.
You like flashback to radio days.
There we go.
I did a little bit, huh? And thank you for tuning in to Savvy on Saturdays. And I'm out.
Out.
Well, thank you for being on the show,
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Mike. Thanks for hanging out again.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure we'll probably keep hanging out for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, possibly.
So,
This
'cause
is
that's
great.
Typically,
Thanks.
what happens?
Happy Mother's Day, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mike's a motherfucker.
Fucker.
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, like I said, thanks for being on the show. I hope you had a good time.
Did.
And to everyone else, until next time, hopefully you enjoyed it also. Have a good one.
Have a good one.